NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. This is Real Hockey Talk. I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Big Ed Smith with the Super Bowl ring again. Man, I love that. I know you get tired of wearing it, but you do it for me.
No, if I ever get a second one, I'm going to let you take this one home with you.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. So you're trying out for an NFL team?
No, I'm hoping. Okay. I was joking with somebody not too long ago. Maybe the Falcons will give me one, for this trip to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that would be good,
yeah,
right?
I'm just joking.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your former team, Atlanta, against the New England Patriots around 3 o'clock or so. That should be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great game.
I think so, too. I think the favorite, I haven't read, but I bet it is New England.
Yeah, I think it's about a 3-point spread. It could have moved a little bit by now, but I think it's a good bet to go with the New England as a favorite.
Yeah, I would think so. But my heart goes with Atlanta, I got to tell you. So I think I'm going to probably pick Atlanta because I want Atlanta to win.
I think a lot of people are rooting for Atlanta just because they would rather see someone other than New England.
Yeah.
That's the.
Well, here's the question. Are they rooting for Atlanta or rooting against New England?
I guess it's 6 in one hand, a half dozen in the other. Doesn't matter as long as you're, going for the Falcons. Like I said, most people will probably tell you that they're, because I don't know how many Falcons fans are out there, but they're probably rooting for the Falcons because they're tired of seeing New England win.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it seems like every year they're close.
Well, I think this is their fifth they played in 6 AFC Championship games in a row.
Oh, wow.
They're going for this is their 7th appearance.
Oh, man.
And Tom's going for his 5th win. Tom and Bill are going for their 5th wins.
Wow.
So, you think about that over the last 12 years, I mean.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Definition of dynasty.
It really is, actually, isn't it? And I guess they're one of the first organizations we may study, right?
Yes.
In our organizational study of excellence.
In our great, good, bad, and ugly categories,
That's
I think
right.
they're in the great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If you look at their results, they certainly have proven the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, of course. And so we have a great show today. Our guests include Emily Redenbach from Cali Sports News, talking about the Kings and the All-Star Weekend that's happening right now with NHL.
Yeah.
A lot of action. We're going to probably talk about the 100 greatest players, and we're going to challenge a few. I have a few names that I don't think are on the list that I think should be on the list. What do you think?
I think we all do.
Now, do you guys watch the skills challenge and all that stuff?
Sometimes, yeah.
It seemed like in the 90s that was my favorite thing. I loved the skills competition. Lately, for whatever reason, I haven't been as big on it. Now, I am excited, though, about today. They have streaming on NHL.com the celebrity game, Team Lemieux versus Team Gretzky. And it features this kid, Justin Bieber. He'll be playing on Team Gretzky, I believe. I hear he's a pretty good player from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess he's a musician or something. He does some music and sings a little bit. So a fellow named Bieber. But Patrick Kane will be in it. A lot of former NHL players. Alan Thicke's son, Carter, will play in it. So that's a nice tribute to the late Alan Thicke. And so, Taylor Kissin from, what's it called, that movie? Liam Neeson was in it.
Taken.
No.
Taken 1.
No, although we do have a DVD of Taken here to give away.
Oh, we do?
Taken 3.
Oh.
No, the original Taken, the only good one. What is it? Oh, the Battleship one.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
He's playing in it.
What
He's
was
a
that
hockey
called?
guy. Battleship.
Oh, Battleship. Yeah, you're right. They were in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That was a pretty good movie.
Never saw it. Didn't see that one.
Pretty good. Who was the other star? I forgot his name.
There was a bunch in it. Yeah, I'll bring that back. So, yeah, that's exciting. That's streaming on NHL.com. Now, of course, the skills competition you can watch on NBC Sports Network, as well as the All-Star Game tomorrow. So this is all taking place at Staples Center in L.A. and so
and
very exciting.
for us novices, it is a 3-on-3 for
It
the
is.
All-Star game.
It is.
Okay.
That's impressive.
And normally it's obviously you have your 5 players out there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of more offense, and I think less injuries. I would
No
expect,
checking or anything like that in the All-Star games.
They're not
Not
going to check
usually,
much.
yeah.
They're having a bunch of fun out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they last year was the first year they did that, the 3-on-3, and they do it by division. So you have your 4 teams, and it's like a little tournament that they put on. But the championship game last year, from what I remember, I think there's very few goals scored, and it just shows, even with 3-on-3, how amazing the goaltender last year.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games, when they hit overtime, the real games, they end. They don't go to a shootout. I mean, they still do sometimes, but a lot of times, they're over pretty quick within that 5-minute window because 3-on-3, there's so much open ice. You're up ice, a lot of 2-on-1s, breakaways, things like that.
A lot of 2-on-none sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you see that too. Dallas last week, I think it was against Minnesota, they had a 3-on-none. And they shot it over the net.
That's crazy, right?
And then Minnesota, I believe, won the game in a shootout. I felt a little bad for Dallas. Although Dallas caught some breaks last night, 2 disallowed goals Buffalo had against them, and at least one of them was definitely in the net. I'm not sure what Toronto was looking at, so some controversy there. I didn't see the second one, but I heard that one was questionable, too. Dallas ended up winning by 1.
How seriously do the NHL players take the All-Star game in comparison to, the Pro Bowl and the NFL? Those guys literally most of them don't want to be out there.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to get hurt. Nobody's even really trying to play for the most part.
Well, I heard on XM radio today that very question was asked.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you call into that?
No.
Yeah. And they were interviewing Cam Atkinson from
Columbus,
Columbus, having a great year.
Yeah.
And he said he saw Wayne Simmons, who's on the All-Star team, and Wayne went to Cam and said, "Let's win it. I want the money."
Yeah.
No, but the theme was, or the moral of the story, they're highly competitive. Yeah, well, they try. They're not going to go out and get injured, but they're going to play their best because these are the best of the best, and they're competitive. So I think they take it, not as serious as probably the Stanley Cup, but serious, but serious enough that they want the bragging rights.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so it's fun, and it's a lot of fun. Now in football, I can imagine. I mean, how do you lay? In fact, let me ask you this: if you try to relax a little bit and not go full force, that's when you can get really injured in football.
Well,
right?
that plus you have to remember a lot of these guys in the NFL have been off about a month now. Because their season is over. The teams that didn't make the playoffs, even the guys who did make the first round, wild card or got bumped out early, those guys have been sitting around for 3 weeks, like I said, possibly a month. And the other thing is, you're nursing season-long injuries right now. These guys are nowhere near healthy, and nobody wants to go out there and bump heads. And the game is, in my opinion, is out of all the major sports, the Pro Bowl is the weakest of all of the all-star games because, like I said, the season's already over for the most part.
That's right.
Game, and think about this. A few years ago, before they started messing with it, it was actually after the Super Bowl. So it was
remember that.
Yeah, remember. So it was even more of a,
Hawaii.
In Hawaii, yeah. So it's in Orlando. I think they have a 2-year agreement to be there now with an option for a 3rd year. And I know the city of Orlando, I heard a report that they're actually trying to get it permanently there.
Oh, wow. Well, 3 years ago it was here when the Super Bowl was there.
Yeah, they've been tinkering with it, trying to figure it out.
I don't know if that worked or not. I guess not.
Well, if I was a player, I'd be a little disappointed because everybody's been to Disneyland or World, which one is over there, but not everybody gets to go to Hawaii. I would love to.
I thought you were going to say Phoenix. But, no, I'm kidding.
No.
Anywhere but Hawaii.
Yeah.
I would be thinking you're getting gypped.
Yeah. And Hawaii loses probably some revenue to them.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh, extremely, yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, it's a good point. But no, they like it. It's not,
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, like you said, the bragging rights. Yeah, you do get some money, but it's these guys make enough anyways.
What was his name? The MVP last year,
John Scott, for him especially.
That
because
was a phenomenal All-Star game.
It was, and this year I think will be great again. But that was a great story last year. Now, looking at that with the celebrity shootout, that's fun. We see the fans that get to go there, but again, it's streaming on NHL.com, so that's fun to watch as well. Now, Robin Thicke was also scheduled to be there as a coach, I believe, with Team Gretzky. He backed out. Now, his brother Carter is playing in it. Robin's going through a big custody battle. And
Did you say brother Carter or son?
His brother.
His brother.
Alan Thicke's sons, Robin and Carter.
Okay.
So Robin Thicke was going to coach the Team Gretzky.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And Carter is playing in it.
Yeah.
But Robin did have to back out the other day. He's going through a big custody situation. There's
a shame.
Restraining order. But
nightmares.
all that business. So
nightmares
hopefully that works out for him. But so kind of unfortunate because, he really wanted to be there, with his, honoring his dad. And,
of course.
All that. So,
it's a shame.
So that's good stuff. But, some other names on the list here. Team Lemieux, we have Ray Bourque. We have Peter Forsberg, Sergei Fedorov, Yari Curry, Larry Robinson, Scott Niedermayer, Chris Pronger, Lucky Luke Robitaille, Peter Stasny, actor David Boreans from the show Angel, Taylor Kitsch, as we talked about, from Battleship, and they've then asked what the name of the movie was. Once again, Battleship.
Who's buried in Grant's tomb.
Right.
That's the type of thing I missed up.
Riker Lynch and Ross Lynch, not sure who they are.
Oh, you're kidding. They're going to show up?
Yeah. Ron McClain, Luke Robitaille's stepson. Well, we always said Stephen R. McQueen, a grandson of actor Steve McQueen. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Teemu Solani, Vincent Piazza.
Oh, my gosh.
Angela Ruggiero, and Mr. Zhao is the backup goaltender, it looks like, for Team Lemieux. So that
Mr.
should be
Zhao.
Mr. Zhao.
Yeah, he owns this Jello store called Mr. Zhao.
Mr. Zhao?
Jello.
Yeah. Now,
Jello.
now, assistant coaches of Team Gretzky will be former Hall of Famers Billy Smith and Pat LaFontaine.
Yep.
And then actresses Alyssa Milano and Rita will, and Echoes of Hope co-founder Stacia Robitaille. Luke Robitaille's wife will serve as assistant coaches for Team Lemieux.
Nice.
And this shootout will benefit, and it's not just a shootout, it's an actual game, but will benefit Echoes of Hope, a non-profit organization founded by Luke and Stacia Robitaille.
Now, did you say Alyssa Milano was skating or she's a coach?
A coach,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I thought you meant she was going to be out there skating.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But then the lineup for Team Gretzky, this kid they're talking about, Justin Bieber, Patrick Kane, Rob Blake, Mike Gartner, Eric Lindros, Nicholas Lidstrom, Joe Sakic, Denny Savard, Boris Salming, Cuba Gooding Jr. Will be in the lineup.
Really?
What?
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer also playing, Joe Newendike.
Producer, director.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, all sorts of big hits. Billy Flynn, Michael Rosenbaum, actor, pretty good actor. Tim Robbins.
Wow, he used to be married to Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they were ever married.
Oh, you're right.
They were domestic partners.
Yeah, and then I think she got old.
They were lovers.
They probably
Not
just...
kidding.
Well, no, she's still...
I think got liberal? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're both very political. More on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Ashley Judd. No, not quite like Ashley
And like
Judd.
Greg Isaac.
Or not like Madonna.
Yeah. All right.
Did
well,
she
no
really
political
mean
talk.
Okay, I won't say I won't say what she said blowing up the White House. No, she said that on her air.
Yeah, I like Madonna. It came out wrong, I think.
It was a little weird, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. It's a weird scene. Well, hopefully the guy stops tweeting. We have, Carter Thicke, as we said. The goaltenders will be Ken Baker and James Badge Dell for Team Gretzky. So quite a game going on.
With that lineup of people, I think I might have to actually watch that. Sounds very interesting.
When is it, tonight?
No, well, this part is earlier today. It will be at 3:15 our time. But it's on NHL.com or the NHL app, which we could get here.
We could get here,
Absolutely. Won't be on TV, but the skills competition, of course, will be on NBC Sports Network. And the teams will wear patches dedicated to Alan Thicke. And, of course, Alan Thicke would participate in many of these celebrity games. And
big hockey fan.
Big hockey guy, yeah.
He was actually on the ice when he had his
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
with his
Yeah,
son
with
Carter.
his son.
Yeah, that's horribly sad.
And another little tidbit with Mr. Thick is when Wayne Gretzky was traded to Los Angeles in 1988, Gretzky was babysitting Robin Thicke when the
Really?
trade was. When he heard. Yeah, because they were always pretty close friends,
my
and so very tragic. And Alan Thicke had an interesting joke that I always thought was quite funny. Is back before Gretzky was traded to L.A., you would have that situation where not many people showed up at games, so he had his joke where someone would ask, Kings are playing, what time's it start? He'd say, what time could you get there?
Oh,
Because, so it's funny guy, obviously, and even better in person, just very sad. One of those that, sometimes someone you don't know personally, in celebrity world, when stuff happens, it's obviously always sad and tragic, but with Alan Thicke, it was one that really more hit home. Robin Williams as well. And, even if you don't know them personally, it is kind of like you know them.
Very sudden, too. That's, when it happens quickly like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Extremely tragic, actually. But on a lighter note, I want to just throw this out a little bit because we do a little entertainment now on the show. But I did see Dog's Purpose, highly recommended. I give it 5 stars, a breakthrough.
Okay.
We did have the writer and the screenwriter today on another show, and it's nationwide. It's booming. It's doing well.
There was a little controversy around that movie. What if some of the animal rights activists?
But it's absolutely not. We don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And it seems incredibly.
I saw a clip of what they were protesting. And
oh, really?
Yeah, there was a scene, I guess, where they were trying to get one of the dogs into the water, and you could tell the dog did not want to get in the water, and they pretty much forced the dog into the water.
Well, probably the agent said, "Hey, you're not getting paid." But truly, it's really an enlightening film, and it's really pro-animal, pro-dog, pro-animal. I highly recommend it. I think the kids would absolutely love it. So that's just my comment.
I want to see it.
It's a great film.
Yeah, I didn't see the clip, though. I mean, so hopefully the dogs and
we brought up the
were
clip,
okay,
and we don't think it was.
Of course, the voice of the dog is Josh Gad, who of course is Olaf in Frozen.
He did a great
hilarious.
job.
Yeah, great guy.
Tremendous
hilarious
job.
Actor.
Very nice voice, actually. I recommend both. You both have kids. I would bring them. I think they'll like it. It's a really nice movie, a wholesome movie, a great movie. Yeah. Definitely go see it.
We see eye to eye on movies, so
a lot of
take
times,
that.
It's good. Well, I loved him. Why him?
Why him? I didn't see that yet.
I
want to see that. Yeah, really bad. James Franco, one of my.
He's multi-talented, that guy.
Oh,
so, but finishing off, we have Rick, the hockey guy, the hockey guru from Boston, calling in at 2. So 1:30 coming up soon from Los Angeles. Emily.
What's interesting is we took like a 20-minute segue away from that. It's like in movies where the movie starts and there's a big action scene, then all of a sudden the title pops up halfway through the movie. Yeah. That's like what happened there.
Yeah, I'm the title guy. But
I forgot, we didn't announce the guest.
That's right, and we also at 3 o'clock, Nick Urtiaga talking soccer. Boy, he knows soccer.
Yeah.
USA national team he's going to attend tomorrow against Serbia. A whole change in philosophy. It's going to be interesting to get his take on it. And, of course, we're going to talk to one of the managers here about Valle Luna. Of course, great restaurant.
Oh, yes.
And 3:30 in person, J.R. I think it's Bro, right? B-R-O-W? Or Brow?
J.R.
Bro. Probably. It could be Brow. I don't
ask him.
But he's going to be performing
Depends
tonight.
What his eyes look
and
like.
tomorrow. Yeah, eyebrow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not his eyes.
But he'll be here in person. It'll be cool. And from the House of Comedy in High Street. So that sounds funny. I said in High Street. It's on High Street, but it is in High Street because they changed the name from City North to High Street. And that doesn't mean it's legal in Arizona, by the way.
Unbelievable.
So a lot of good guests coming up. So we will be talking about that. So the 100 greatest players. You know who they left off, in my opinion?
Well, I'll hear from you because I was when I saw it, it was more of paying closer attention to sort of the end of it. The beginning, of course, I mean, most of these guys, I've heard of. Many 80s, 90s guys got to see, but guys before that, the Bobby Orrs of the world, of course, everyone knows Bobby Orr,
yes,
but,
definitely.
I never got to see him, but I know he's one of the top 3 of all time. They're definitely top 5, but some of the other guys on the list, because I didn't see as much, I can't really make as much mention maybe as you can on this, so if you want to bring that up, and I might mention when they said the guys from the 2010s current players, maybe some disagreements I had on that per se.
And what I think is that Rick Tocchet and maybe Dave Taylor, they were almost point of game players. They were significant in the day. Taylor had a great career for the Kings. Rick
the
Tocchet,
Triple Crown. Yeah.
And point per game, 1,000 games. You got to think. Anyone over 1,000 points, you figure is doing pretty well.
And he did stay with the same team, and that's rare.
And I think Brent Burns perhaps could have been a possibility.
Well, the thing with Burns is that he is really good, but he's always been. This year and last year, just exceptional, really stand out. So maybe they look at, the whole gist of it, all the people voting, and a big number of them, the Blue Ribbon group or whatever. And so you have that situation in terms of recent players, per se, which obviously Burns playing right now. It seems like they went with guys that
won the Stanley Cup a bunch.
Yeah, and maybe consistency for many, many years. I'm saying Burns hasn't been, but, the superstar level's really taken off the last 2
But Kane
3
about
years.
a point per game. I mean, he's at about 800 games. I mean,
well,
I don't know. He still has a career, good career left in him.
They are amazing players, throughout. I'll just go back real quick to mention Tocchet and Taylor. And Tocchet was obviously outstanding, and not just with, stats. You look at everything, his physical play, power forward, premier power forward, good leader. And he was very good offensively. I could see why, though. I think as strong and great as he wasn't that superstar level per se. And with all the great players that the league has seen, I think guys like that.
But the power
just on
forward
the outside,
in him
it's very unique, yeah.
That's what I liked about him in his younger days. Phenomenal, but he still had a lot of points in his career. I think almost 1,000. You got to like something like that, right?
And like you said with Taylor, with that Triple Crown line, with Dion and Simmer, what they were able to do. Obviously Dion in there, is one of the best ever.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting, but in terms of the recent stuff. Duncan Keith is amazing. Patrick Kane, Jonathan Tate, what Taves could do on the ice and off, just how great of a leader he is. He's still a young guy, per se, in his 20s. And all 3 big parts of 3 Stanley Cup championships. That being said, if you're looking at these guys, now I know it matters with other guys too, because you could say Evgeny Malkin should be on, but maybe not replace one of those guys, but maybe someone from another era.
That was my other guy.
But if we're just looking this era, I don't know why Malkin.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, Malkin should have been on instead of. Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, but, who do you leave on? I mean, I think it was a little premature to get maybe Taves and Kane right now.
Young guys still. Well, I mean, again, not young per se. They've been around a while in the league, but still in their 20s and in their prime.
But, I guess,
when you look at the overall thing and what they've done for hockey here this decade, I get that. And Duncan Keith, if you look at right now, this year, maybe the last 2-3 years, sure, Keith, I take a Drew Doughty over him right now, maybe some other guys per se. But it's when you look at, Keith's been around quite a while and the success he's had with the team. So it's understandable in that regard if you hold him as, hey, in the last decade or so, consistency-wise, we put him there. But still, he goes in maybe over some of the guys from the past. There's a lot of things you could debate on it. But I think it's really what they've done for the league these last 10 years.
That makes sense.
The other names, obviously, Crosby, Ovechkin, Yager, of course.
No doubt.
But again, Evgeny Malkin, he's had injury issues, stuff like that over the years. But come on, he has a Hart Trophy. He's been involved a couple cups.
Third in the league in scoring this year.
Yeah, and again, not just looking this year, but here the last 8-10 years.
Yeah, he's been good.
I was surprised. I would have taken him over Keith.
Maybe
or Kane.
He knows Putin. No, I'm kidding. Oh, wait, he probably
No,
does.
if he did, they would try to sneak him in. Yeah,
but he is a great player, and he's Pittsburgh. You can't count them out.
Yeah.
Well, Boston did beat them the other night, so.
But Pittsburgh's going at the end of the year. They're one of the favorites to.
Yeah.
I think they have a good chance to repeat.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we are live from Valle Luna Mexican restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix. Come on down. We got a bunch of prizes. We're here till 4 o'clock. They're open, I think, till probably 11. Great place, great food, great environment. Come on down, join the fun, and we'll be right back after this break.
Hey, this is Kurt Feldkeller, and you can join me every morning from 7 to 9 on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Me and my buddy Kwame, we're unplugged.
And welcome back again to Real Hockey Talk. We are broadcasting live from Valle Luna Mexican restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. Come on down, have some fun. I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Ed Smith, former Atlanta Falcons, with the Super Bowl ring. I'm jealous. I would never have made the NFL, is my opinion. I may have made it as...
he was a swimmer in high school, right?
Well, yeah.
He was the original swimmer.
I was a swimmer.
First dude to jump in the water.
Yeah.
I did the breaststroke. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I also swam. So I was a swimmer. No, I was definitely a swimmer. I did play basketball. Can you believe? It's hard to believe, I know. But, I wasn't very tall.
He beats me.
What was the strength of your game?
My passing ability.
Passing,
yeah,
okay.
to the other team.
Yeah.
They would love him. They'd say, "Oh, make sure he's on your team," and then he would lead them.
But being I was not quick.
I think you're selling yourself short, Dave.
No, I was short. I wasn't very tall. So it was a tough one, but fun. It was not the varsity.
Well, you have many other talents.
Yeah, I was on the chess team.
Oh man!
Hey, I played with Harvey Levin, chess.
Is that right?
Harvey TMC.
Yeah.
I know him.
You know him?
That's
He went to Cleveland High School with me, and we played chess many times. And smart guy. I mean,
you beat him.
I can't remember. He was pretty smart.
Okay.
Dave's the one that drove him to the People's Court and to start TMZ.
He did.
With all the gossip talk that Dave does. And
we'll have to get a game of
Levin.
chess in one of these days, man. I love chess.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I love chess.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah, played from early on with my dad. My dad still plays it. He helps teach my son, actually. Yeah,
it's a good game of really skill. I mean, it's not so much luck, but it's really cool stuff.
Strategy.
So, a lot of strategy, and I always loved it. I played the L.A. City champ. I lost very quickly.
Really?
But I was pretty good. I think I got the most points one year at the high school. I was okay. If you're going to be good, you really got to study it, I think.
Yeah. There's a science behind it. There's a whole lot of strategy.
Yeah, there is. But there's some great chess players. It is a great game. I totally agree. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Is our guest on? I forgot to listen to see if our guest is on. Oh, good. And joining. Wow. See, it's like that title thing you were saying, Greg, earlier.
Yeah, and then 20 minutes later.
Yeah. But joining us right now from California, probably somewhere near Staples Center, is Emily Redenbach from Cali Sports News. Hey, Emily, how are you?
I'm doing great. This is an exciting weekend to be in LA.
Oh, I bet it is. Are you covering the All-Star game?
I am. I just got out of media availability with the Western Conference team, so I talked to Jeff Carter, Drew Gowdy, Martin Jones. It's been an exciting morning.
Oh, my gosh. That is really cool. So let's talk about the LA Kings first. your take is on them. They're out of a playoff spot, I believe. What, they're 1 point out right now?
I think we jumped back in. Jeff Carter just mentioned that we were back in the playoff picture. So I think the Flames lost and we won. So we jumped back into that second playoff spot. But, yeah, we've been hovering kind of second wild card, just a little bit out of it for the last couple of weeks now.
Yeah, they've had their struggles. So tell us, you're going to, the first game back, guess where it's going to be?
With you guys.
Yes, well, not me, but I started associated with the Kings. But yeah, it's going to be against, obviously the Arizona Coyotes, who are on a 3-game winning streak, by the way, which is sort of interesting.
Like to snap that.
Yes, I know you definitely would. And although, not to take anything away from the Coyotes, but Ben Bishop did not have a good game when they played Tampa Bay for the first win after a while. Florida did not play a very good game, I don't think. And then Vancouver didn't even have a shot until 28 minutes into the game. So, so the Coyotes won. Woo! But anyway, I'm going to give them credit, though. 3 wins is still 3 wins against teams with more points than they have.
Yeah, so almost everyone does. But no, well, here's the thing with a team like the Coyotes, with the young core, is sometimes the second half of the season they start to take off and do better. Improvements come. So I could see that happening. And Coyotes always seem to play the Kings tough, no matter where they're at in the standings. It should be interesting. Now, Emily, any word with Tyler Toffoli? I mean, I know they said after the All-Star break. Does it seem like it's possible he could be here Tuesday, or maybe still a couple games after that away?
Likely he and Nick Dowd will both be in the lineup on Tuesday. That's the hope from management. He's been skating. Toffoli has. He's really getting back up to game strength, and we could definitely use a couple of guys who aren't Jeff Carter to learn how to put a puck in the back of the net. Don't get me wrong, I love Jeff Carter, and I'm really grateful for him. But, yeah, we need a few more guys on offense, so I think having Tyler back and having Nick back will be huge for us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think interesting with that is lately, finally, it seems like Anze Kopitar and now Gaborik are starting to come around a bit. So, yeah, I mean, if they get, that offense from those guys and, with Carter and Toffoli coming back and Pearson, I mean, then all of a sudden, you got something kind of going on there. And on D, I mean, still a phenomenal defensive team, and Budaj has done his job. So, and I know Dean Lombardi, Kings general manager, had mentioned now that Quick at the earliest would be back. I believe he said mid-March. In your gut feeling, do you think we'll see Jonathan Quick at all again this year, or do you feel that it's going? Yeah.
I really don't. I'm as much as that pains me, and it really does. I think the earliest we could get him back would be for playoffs, and you can't start a goalie cold at a first round of a playoff. That's just not fair. And as much as I love Budaj and he has been helping us out, I don't know if Budaj is kind of the goalie that we need in playoffs. We would need Quick to have been back before he's ready. And, March is a conservative estimate. I seriously doubt we're seeing him until playoffs, if at all.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, it'll be a big fight towards it, but definitely a team that could put together a nice streak, and so we'll see how that goes there. But, looking at, and we'll talk about the All-Star game as well, but trade deadline time, of course, coming up here. We're a little more than a month away, but getting close. Now, a team like the Kings, if they're, I'm sure they'll be in contention still in a month, but in terms of, because of all the guys maybe being moved in terms of young guys the last couple of years, I mean, I wouldn't think they'd go after a rental per se, but I mean, do you feel Dean Lombardi will be real active, or do you think maybe any hesitance knowing that, hey, Quick may not be back, and do we want to give up a lot to make it a huge run, knowing that in goal come playoff time it might be a bit tough?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing kind of most of this season is we'll trade if Quick is back, and if not, we're going to wait until probably just before the expansion draft and get someone over the summer. We've been talking a lot with Colorado. So word is either Duchesne or Landeskog may make their way over to LA, but especially because I highly doubt Quick is coming back, I don't think Lombardi is going to make the move now. And I think the Avalanche, knowing that their season is likely not going to pick up before the playoffs, I don't think they're not rushing to get that player to pick them back up either. So I think it kind of works out for both teams if they hold off a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, I did read something actually this morning on Matt Duchesne that he's certainly open for a trade. And he even sort of admitted that it's not the same. He gets up in the morning, not as motivated, and he's not having his best season, but he's still having a decent season. So perhaps, a different environment might do him some good. So I think
we'd love to have him. I'm a huge Avalanche fan myself.
Young kid still. Yeah. He's very good, no question.
Likely we would give up either Muzzin or Martinez.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, because Colorado you would think would be sort of in a rebuild, as good as Muzzin and Martinez are, and getting top four defensemen are huge for teams, and Colorado would need that. With their age, being in their late 20s, it may not work with Colorado's time frame. And like you said, the Avs aren't in a rush. Duchesne and Landeskog are under contract for a while, and if they can move him at one of those guys at the draft if they have to, and they have a chance maybe to get more in a trade at that time. But it'll be interesting to watch with that. But Emily, the All-Star Weekend is here. Were you there last night for the unveiling of the remaining guys in the top 100? Yeah.
Yes, I was there. I have issues with some of the current players that made it, but I think for the most part it was a pretty well-compiled list.
You read our mind. We have some.
The voters must have been from Chicago, is my guess.
Yeah.
Good Lord, 3 Blackhawks currently playing out of 6 current players, half of them are the Blackhawks. I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I suggested that, Greg and I, Malkin, we thought should have probably made it if it's any active players now. I also thought maybe Rick Tocchet, maybe Dave Taylor, former King. They had great careers, and I don't know. That's how I see it. What do you say about that?
I was happy to see. I think there were 8 Kings that made the list, 8 former Kings, and I was pretty happy with that list.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we were pretty good. I would have preferred Doughty make it as well, but I'm slightly biased on Doughty.
Well, he's a great player, no doubt. He'd be maybe my first pick as a defenseman in the league, just because he can control a game. I like it. Yeah, he's definitely good.
I would have taken him over Keith. I get Keith's been around a while as well, and he's amazing, and what he's meant with Chicago with their 3 cups, and I still just think it's tough. It's close on some levels, and as great as Patrick Kane is and what he's been, and one of the top offensive players here in this last decade.
A little early.
There's just a lot of guys out. It could have been close if you look at other current guys and stuff like that.
It's a tough one.
Taves, I understand. His overall ability. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
he's having a bit of an off year offensively, perhaps this year, but it's just this year. But the last, since 2000, when he was drafted, but after that, leading them in 2010, I believe, was their first cup, and what he's been able to do, definitely understandable. But yeah, the other 2 Hawks, I was a little surprised to hear that.
Now here's a trivia question: what 2 brothers made the top 100? Let's see who will get this first.
Oh my gosh, was I paying enough attention at all? I so wasn't.
One is a goalie and one was not.
One was a goalie and one was
Oh my god, and there were only
there
were very few goalies that made it. Patrick Waugh was one.
Let's see, there's Billy Smith.
And well deserved, I think.
Was he? Wait, with
if
these
I give
brothers,
you the brother, you'll know the other
don't
brother.
give the brother, but could you maybe say what era, perhaps?
Probably, let's
like
think
your
about
day in the 60s, 70s?
I think in the 60s.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
it
I
was
wasn't even
about
alive in
the
the
60s.
60s. And I was
What?
living
You're
in
a
another
young
country
kid.
when I was born.
Excuse. Okay.
I wasn't born in the 80s.
the Aussie
So
All right,
I
but
don't
you
know
know
anything.
these names. All right, I'll
Yeah.
give you the
I'm
goalie.
sure I
He was
will.
the least famous. Tony Esposito, goalie.
Oh, okay. And
And
Phil.
of course, Phil.
Okay,
He was
there
great.
you go.
That guy is awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
All right, but what about Ron Francis? Should he have made it? I think
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't. Yeah.
No, he
was
did.
there. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, so
Maybe
there's-
the most underrated player
think-
of all
yeah.
time, perhaps. He
now
was
all
that good.
three of the top three, Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, they all agree on who the best player is. Who is that best player?
Gordie Howe?
Yes.
Gordie Howe.
They all say
That
the
was great.
same thing. And it's like,
Yeah, the question
interesting.
was-
I mean, it's quite a tribute to him, right?
Yeah, they
Passed
asked
away,
him,
what, this
because
or
the three
last
of them
year?
were in a
Yeah.
press conference yesterday, and they asked him, is one of the greatest players of the game in this room right now? And they all said no. They all said it was
Yeah.
Gordie Howe. It was a beautiful moment.
Which is really humble of them because those three were phenomenal what they did, and there's no question about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, any other brothers? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Now, kind of jumping ahead in a couple hours.
There is a set of brothers.
There is.
Okay, this is even going back further
Oh,
than the
come on.
Espositos.
Oh.
You ready?
Hit me.
I think they're brothers. All right, here we go.
What if they're
One
not?
was
That'd be
called
great.
The Rocket.
Richard.
Yeah.
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 Henry Rashad and Maurice Rashad. I believe they were brothers.
Yeah. Okay. There
Man,
you go.
and those guys were
Now that
good.
was really Dave's day.
No, that was way before. Who was called the Pocket Rocket?
I'll
have to check that out.
Valerie Bure, I think.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Because the Russian Rocket was his brother Pavel, and I think Valerie was the Pocket, I believe.
Well, I know Emily will like this because we like it. Well-deserved Luke Robitaille making it
sure.
easily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, no doubt.
Highest scoring
But
left
what
winger
did-
in NHL history.
Oh, yeah. Now, did
Yeah.
Jeremy Rodnick make it? I don't think he...
I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
Oh, was he not on the list?
He didn't make it.
Was Keith Kachuk on there by chance?
Well, if he's not, I'll be mad. Let's check this out. I got it alphabetical. He's not on the list. I can't even imagine how that's possible. No,
I mean,
really.
there's so many good players.
But over who would I take Kachuk
Well-
over Kane any day? It's hard to find a power forward like that guy. That guy was scoring.
I mean, no, and
Am I
Kachuk
right?
was great offensively. Yeah, I mean, you can make arguments in many
now
ways.
I'm really mad, Ed.
These lists are tough. I mean, to do in that regard. But
But Keith Kachuk, are you kidding? Captain Coyote? Captain Coyote. That guy was really good.
oh yeah, in his prime he was amazing, no
Oh,
doubt.
I'm not happy now.
Now, Emily, a lot of excitement coming up. So I assume then you'll be there at the celebrity shootout, which I think takes place in about an hour and a half or so.
2:15. So yeah, an hour and a half. I am really
Ooh.
looking forward to someone shooting Justin Bieber with a puck. That I think is going to be the highlight of my day.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
my.
cool though.
Justin
David
Bieber is
Boreanaz-
going to win MVP.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see some of the legends come out and play with guys who you've seen them on film and TV. They just love hockey so much you even see it in their shows. David Boreanaz, I think every show he's been on, his character has loved or played hockey. He's been playing with Forsberg, and I think Gretzky's leading that team. So I'm pretty sure that's Team Gretzky. I'm Team Gretzky, not Team whichever one Justin Bieber is on.
I think Bieber is on Team Gretzky.
Damn it.
Oh, is he?
Then I'm on the other team.
Wait, I think we were reading it off earlier, and I believe he was Team Gretzky, and this is
Okay, then I'm...
Well, as Greg checking that out, Keith Kachuk, 1,201 games played, 1,065 points, really good, and penalty minutes, 22-19. That is really quite the power forward.
I like Emily even more now that she doesn't like Bieber, because earlier when Greg was going down the roster, I was secretly sitting over here thinking, I hope somebody checks him into the boards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, Team Gretzky. He'll be wearing white, number 6. So look out for him there. Maybe
right.
even though Rob Lake will be on his team, maybe he'll still give him a little hip check there, even though they're on the same
Now we're
team.
talking.
Yeah,
And,
no, sorry, Gretzky. I can't be on Team Bieber. Just not in my DNA
man.
here.
Well, you do have Cuba Gooding Jr. on that team, and he's one of my favorites. And the People versus O.J. Simpson on FX, he was amazing with that. Dave, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Oh, it's fantastic. But, Tim Robbins, and then, of course, Carter Thicke, the late Alan Thicke's son. And so nice tribute to Alan last night by Wayne Gretzky. But it is going to be fun today, seeing that, I'm sure. And I know for us over here, we could stream it on the NHL app and NHL.com. And now looking forward to the skills competition tonight. Is there a particular event, Emily, that you would say your favorite event?
Oh, I don't know. I actually prefer the whole skills competition over the game. There's something really exciting about seeing guys kind of go all out in a way that you wouldn't get to see. That's not something you ever get to see when they actually play, because there's so many defensemen or forwards or whatever trying to impede them from doing their job. So probably anything that involves a shootout. I really like I'm going to enjoy seeing Martin Jones do what he does. I don't know. I always find everything about the skills competition really exciting.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, I remember, in the 90s, early 2000s, I loved it. The last couple of years, when it comes up, I'll watch it, of course, but haven't paid as much attention. But I have agreed with you where usually I'm more excited about that than the game. I do like this 3-on-3 format because last year, the first year of it is very exciting, and the John Scott situation, what a great story that was. And but this year, looking forward again. Kind of looking at the game, the four divisions and their little tournament. I know your favorite Pacific Division in the sense. I'm sure you want them to win, but do you see that as a likely scenario, or or any of the divisions there, their rosters maybe stand out in the 3-on-3 type situation?
Well, it's difficult because 3-on-3 there's so much more ice, so you really get to see. I think this is where the All-Star has really excelled in the last 2 years, is having the 3-on-3. You get to see exactly what the players can do. I don't know. I'd like to be biased towards our division, but I hate to say it, those Blackhawks do have some fairly skilled players for their division. Isn't it half of their division Blackhawks, I feel?
It seems like it. Well, I know with the Atlantic Division, especially now, injury in there, Cam Atkinson, I believe, got added. Right. So Columbus has 4. Not Atlantic, I'm sorry, the Metropolitan Division. They have 4, but that's a good question, actually. I'm going to bring the rosters back up because my memory is terrible.
Mine too, and I just talked to all of them.
Yeah. It's like, wait, who did I talk to? Okay, so
Connor
we'll go to
McDavid
the Central.
obviously is going to be a favorite to watch.
Yeah, and that's one thing with the Pacific. And then with Carter and Doughty, they're so great on 3-on-3 with the Kings, and, they do amazing. But the skill set, of Johnny Gaudreau, they're both Horvat. I'm looking forward to seeing, Ryan Kessler, who has surprised me this year. I really thought we would start to see him decline from an offensive standpoint, but, man, he's proved me wrong. Pavelski, Burns, Doughty, Fowler, defenseman, Jones, and Smith, and it's a good roster they have.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Now,
I think maybe the East Coast could pull it out this year, though.
It's very possible. Or the Central, like you said, with Kane and Taves and Duncan Keith. So, they have those 3. Corey Crawford. So, they also have 4. You're right. Most of it is them. And Devin Dubnyk also in that. He's been amazing. But, Laine, McKinnon, Sagan, Tarasenko.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a tough one to beat. The Central's going to be tough.
And Suter,
McKinnon's
absolutely.
a great little sniper.
Oh, absolutely. And, man, so, both those Western Conference divisions, obviously both filled with great talent. And then, like you said, looking at the East Coast, you look at Metropolitan Division with the Eastern Conference with the Sidney Crosby fellow. Not familiar with him. But you have Cam Atkinson, as we said. I think so. They were saying he was replacing this Justin Bieber fellow in the actual real All-Star game. Bieber petitioned to be in the real game. Taylor Hall with he's outstanding. Ovechkin, Wayne Simmons back in L.A. there. It's going to be fun. Jean Tavares. Malkin is out, of course, with injury, so Atkinson replaced him. Justin Falk, that nice defenseman there with Carolina. You don't hear as much about him there. Seth Jones, McDonough, Bobrovsky, and Holtby. So nice roster there. And then Atlantic Division. Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah, these last couple of years
great
with
to watch.
Washington. Oh, yeah, a lot of fun there with him in that. And then you have Nikita Kucherov, Brad Marchand, Austin Matthews, of course, the Scottsdale native, Franz Nielsen, very skilled, great shootout guy, Kyle Okposo, Vincent Trachad, Victor Hedman, Eric Carlson, Shea Weber, and then Carey Price, who's the captain of that team, and Tuukka Raskin. So that's the Atlantic Division. So, man, all good rosters. Like you said, with 3-on-3, it's tough because some guys you expect in a regular game situation go really good, but then 3-on-3, that extra skill of maybe some other guys comes out. So it's going to be fun over there. Now, you expect a pretty big crowd for tonight and then tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's sold out.
Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome, and it's just a great situation. I mean, then being the 100th year, centennial year, and then for the Kings, and the other 1967 teams, the 50th year. So
there's a lot of celebrations going on over here. I think it's very fitting that for our 50th and for the NHL 100 that we're the team that gets to host this. We're the city.
Oh, absolutely.
LA really knows how to put on a good show.
They do, yeah. It looks right. I wish, I was going to try to get out there for this, but it's tough right now. Things busy, but, maybe, if the Kings are in the Stanley Cup final this year, if they surprise and get there, I'll try to get out there for that.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. So, let's see. We're up against a break. So, Emily, how do people get in touch with you?
You can always find me at AussieEmily, AussieEmily, on Twitter, or you can read my stuff on Cali Sports News.
That is excellent. We always appreciate you calling in. Enjoy the weekend.
Pleasure to be here.
It's quite a celebration. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking forward to it.
Although you didn't give us your Aussie voice.
I did for a couple of minutes, for like 2 sentences there. Sorry. I'll
there
do
you
better
go.
next time. I'll do more Aussie next time, I promise.
I know. That's very good. Whatever voice you're in, you do a great job. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Sounds
Emily.
good.
All right. Thank you. So, Emily, enjoying the All-Star game.
I like how she can just turn that off and turn it on.
I know. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That is probably, I think that's hard to do, isn't it?
I would imagine.
I can't even do it, but I've never been to Australia. So, anyway, we are broadcasting live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. Come on down. We're here till 4. We're giving prizes away. We got a comedian coming in at 3:30. Great place, great food, great fun. And again, we will be right back with the hockey guru, the Boston guy, after this break.
NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to Real Hockey Talk on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS. I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Big Ed Smith from the Atlanta Falcons, or former from the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, that's right. And you're about 6'5", right?
6'4".
That's pretty good size. Now, we're going to get your nephew on one of these days, right,
yes.
from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an exciting show because that was such a great college football game.
Yeah, I was just sad they came up on the short end of it, that's for sure. But it was, it was a great experience for him, especially his freshman year. And
he's got a good career ahead of him.
Yeah, great school. The best part about it is getting a great education. But, his football IQ is going to go through the roof being under Saban.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's such a value for a young guy like him. And of course, he's following in your footsteps, being the uncle, and his dad, Irv, of course, played for 49ers and a couple other teams.
Yeah.
So it's sort of cool. You got to be proud of him.
Oh, yeah, very.
Very. I hope he invites me to the Super Bowl party when he wins. Right?
Yeah.
Wherever. He'd probably go to New England, of all places. No, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a ways away.
Yeah, we can't look that far into the future.
That's really quite far. Anyway, joining us right now is our hockey guy from Boston. Actually, but he lives here, but we say he's from Boston. Why? Because he is from Boston. The hockey guru. Rick, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you guys today?
We are very, very good. It's breaking the action with hockey with All-Star Weekend. However, wow, your Bruins did one on Pittsburgh. That's pretty exciting the other day.
Yeah, they did. They've won their last two. It's interesting now. They look at teams going into the break. Who's hot? Who's not? Who's going to make a move? It's a good time of year to start looking at making some playoff predictions, start talking trades and who's going to try to revamp their roster. And the NHL blessed us yesterday with their top 100 because I call it perfect barroom banter, because you can go up and down those top 100 and say, who missed it, who should be on it. You mentioned Roanoke and Kachuk.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Kane, Taves, Duncan Keith, too early for me, but I'm a little old school. I think eventually they're going to be on it, but I looked at that list and I went through a bunch of guys that I thought that were omitted that should have been on that team.
Who's on your list?
All right, well, I've got my hometown. If you're going to talk about someone that revolutionized the position, power forward, I think Cam Neely should have got some talk on it, even though his career was shortened tremendously due to a cheap shot. I thought Jerome Agilna, just for his longevity and the scoring that he had, should have had on it. I would have taken Joe Thornton over Matt Sundin any day of the week.
That's a good point, too.
Boya Salming, no, not for me. You look at Rob Blake when he on the Avs, what he did throughout his career. Phil Housley, another defenseman that played 20 years, gets omitted.
I think
Carey Price doesn't make the team. Yeah, I mean, Gary Suter, who's still playing, has had a tremendous career. Guy Lapointe. Gordie Howe's son, Mark Howe. Now, if you Google him, look at the amount of points he had through his career, he's not on it. And you can even argue that Connor Murphy's dad, Larry Murphy, belongs on that team because of how he was in the Cups he won, and he's not on it.
Detroit.
Yeah, I was, in the Penguins, and I was going a little nuts looking at that, but that's. These things, we'll be talking about this for a long time, so that's what lists and top hundreds are all about.
Wow, I hear there's going to be protest march all over America.
There should.
I'm just kidding, of course.
No.
Yeah, but I agree with you. You mentioned some really good players.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Neely, no doubt. Some of the other players, Larry Murphy for sure, used to be a King, drafted, I think, in the first round, and ended up in Detroit. I think he had a great career, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought maybe Rick Tocchet, right? I mean, there's an argument there, a power forward. And,
yeah, there's an argument.
Possibly Dave. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I agree with you. Kane and Taves, Keith, I'm a little too early there. I mean, I'm sure when they wind their careers down, they're going to have a bunch of points and maybe a few more Stanley Cups. But right now, I don't know. I think... who knows? Who voted for these people?
That's a good. I know I didn't. That much I can tell you. I'm sure there's a little political correctness because you want to cover all generations, and noticeably absent. You go into that list and you go back into the 20s, 30s, and 40s. there's a, they did capture guys like Eddie Shore and Pierre Palat and Tim Horton like that, but there were so many great generational players. It's impossible to put the top 100 together. But
it really is.
It is. You can argue all day long with it, but hey, it's great to have your name on the list, and it's obviously great to be considered that you should be on the list. So it means you did something right in your career.
So my question, if they keep it the 100, who's going to fall off the list eventually?
Well, probably the guys we just talked about.
Probably.
I would think they're first in line. I mean, obviously I was glad to see a lot of Bruins on there. They had about 8 or 9 guys.
Sure.
Not that they played their whole careers, and I was taken aback. I saw Adam Oates on there, and I said, Adam Oates? I said, top 100, really? And, yeah, he had a great career. He played a long time. He played in the Bruins. He played on the Blues. He played on the Capitals. But I just don't consider him a top 100 guy. That's all.
Yeah.
So
it was the great Hall and Oates.
Exactly. That's right.
I remember they used to call him that. But I agree. I totally agree. And but hey, I guess you got to pick someone, and maybe like I said, I don't know who picked them, but it gets everyone riled up and excited anyway. So
it does. It does.
So I think that's fun, and it corresponds obviously with the centennial, the 100-year anniversary, which is a really cool deal too.
Oh,
so
exactly.
who's going to make you mentioned some people are on a win streak right now, and of course one leading or tied with several others for the most wins in a row right now are the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yes, the AZ boys have pulled off 3 in a row.
I mean, Arizona.
Coyotes,
right.
I keep saying
You're
Phoenix.
2 years late.
Well, I don't think
That's
they're
okay.
moving to Tempe. I'm keeping them in Phoenix. All right.
Well, personally,
All right,
I
now
would have
it's
liked to have
Glendale.
called them the East Valley Coyotes, but that didn't happen. But I'm getting.
Yeah.
But it's good. They've played well of late, which is great. But they've also played some dogs. And to be honest with you, I mean, Vancouver never got off the bus, and it showed. I mean, that's
no shots for 28 minutes.
That's sad, and but they won, and let's see what in the last 10 they're 5-4-1. They've got some nice influx of maybe meshing his talent. I love Christian Fischer. I know they just kind of sent him back down to Tucson, but I think that's really an all-star break type thing to keep him playing there while they have 3 or 4 days off. I hope they don't leave him down there because he's a power forward and they need guys like that. So it'll be interesting the last 30 games of the season, what they can put together and what they can I want them to establish an identity. That's what that team needs to do with the remaining 30 games or so, and they're going to do it because there's going to be some pieces in there not on the roster if moves are made. There's going to be some pieces added, and let's see what it is. And I hope they don't pick up journeyman players. If they move people, I hope they move people for draft picks, and they recall from within and give these players a chance to develop.
I totally agree. I think that would be wise, and I'm pretty sure that's their direction. But we'll see what happens. But they're going to be sellers, and I suspect Hansel will be gone. Bravada probably be gone.
Right.
Maybe a few other players, maybe Stone. So so they have a chance to pick up a few more assets, which would be good for them, and we'll see what happens. I mean, some of their some look pretty good. Perini, I think, looks pretty good. What's his name?
Burmistrov, who bounced around Winnipeg. Yeah, but he is what he is. He's playing well. I mean, he's never going to be a 40-goal scorer, but he's got some speed and he's got some agility.
Yeah.
But he's not going to take you to the promised land.
No.
What I hope this franchise doesn't do, as we were talking about, who's going to be making a playoff run and what teams are going to look like. Remember that this is the team that traded Devin Dubnyk to the Minnesota Wild for a third-round draft choice. And lo and behold, Minnesota is top of the West. They're 8-2 in their last 10, and they're doing it clearly on the back of Devin Dubnyk. And they basically got nothing for him. They got a they made a draft choice of a kid that's still playing in juniors. Hope he makes it, but in reality, they gave him away, and that's kind of, I'm kind of beating a dead horse right here. But looking at who's going to be making a run and what teams are going to do to revamp their rosters here, it's going to be interesting here the rest of the way, because some of these teams are going to position themselves for their draft. I shouldn't say draft, who they protect when Las Vegas comes picking. And the first thing people need to look at goaltenders on our rosters. You're only going to be able to keep one. So you look at teams like Tampa with Bishop and I think Vasilevsky, two really good guys. You've got Murray and Fleury in Pittsburgh. There's going to be a blockbuster move somewhere in there, and I would think that someone like St. Louis, for them to go to the next level, they're weak in net. They need a Ben Bishop. And even though
I heard there's a rumor to that effect that Ben's probably gone.
Shattenkirk for Bishop has been kicked around. If I'm Tampa, I do that trade all day long, because Shattenkirk's a defenseman. He's speed, he's transition game, he's young, he can score. And if you can get a guy like that and still have a good goalie, you pull the trigger. And I think St. Louis must be pretty smart, and they probably want something else. But something's got to give with some of these teams. You look at Edmonton. I've got Edmonton right now as one of in the top 4 best teams out of the West. Cam Talbot proved me wrong. He was a backup for Lundqvist in New York, but the guy's played 45 games this year. Can he keep that pace up into April and May? I think Edmonton has to be, on the lookout for something. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of teams.
Was there any chance, Rick or Greg, you can chime in, that Mike Smith, there's a team interested in Mike Smith?
Not if it's 100% salary. I think the team's still on the books for, when they got rid of Ribeiro back to Nashville. I think someone could take Smith, but I think he'd be in a system that he can't be the number one guy. I would take him as a capable, solid number 2 insurance policy, just in case.
Gotcha.
He could fit well in Edmonton behind Talbot. That could be a possibility, but Chiarelli, who's up there right now, is the GM. He's not going to take on that contract. There's just no way he's going to do it. So, Arizona is going to have to, I'd have to say they'd pay at least 80% of it. And probably a very detailed physical to make sure that, Mike Smith doesn't have any lingering, groin injury, stomach pulls, things like that, because he's a V guy, he flops, and he's a big guy, and it takes a toll on your body.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, especially for a guy, if he came in as a backup per se, they definitely, no one would, take on the contract. And, the most cap-wise, the Coyotes would be able to, keep would be 50%, which, I don't know if the Coyotes already are keeping, that on anyone else maybe that's been traded here. But, so it's, I'm with you. I just don't think he'll be moved. And if he was, I think it would be a team more as a number 1 guy because of the money. But because of the money, he's likely not moving, as you said, out of there, which will be interesting. And the Ben Bishop talk, he's with the Blues before originally as he was sort of coming up, and that would be interesting if that type of move was made, especially if the Blues. And Shattenkirk also unrestricted after the year. And in my opinion, I would think, even though the Blues are a contender, they need that goaltender. They want to make sure still to have assets after the season. But on the other hand, if they think that they could probably sign Ben Bishop, if you make that trade now, I see it. Because Blues are still a good team. And like you said, Jake Allen is just, I don't know what happened to him. I really thought highly of him, and he started well, but man, lately.
Yeah, and I think Ben Bishop originally. I mean, I remember watching him up at his University of Maine, and he was fantastic. And I think originally St. Louis drafted him, and he was originally Blues property, and then worked his way into Tampa. So I'm sure that they are familiar with him, and I mean he can be just a flat out lockout goalie. He can be fantastic, and Tampa Bay is probably one of the big disappointments this year in hockey. I mean, I had them making a cup run and devastated by injury, but they still had tremendous goaltending and defense in a transition game, and they're just a 500 team right now. They're just not going anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely shocked with you there with Tampa. Yeah, because I thought probably have a good opportunity to get to the Eastern Conference Final, and
right.
They're just man, the way it's been, and who knows? Maybe they they have the personnel, even with injuries, maybe to make a late run. There are a couple teams in the wild card that they'd have to jump over to get one of those two spots. But
right.
Again, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's just it's exciting, when you get to this time, and then the trade deadline, being a month away, and so
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the NHL's turned the trade time into, it's like an event. Everybody, they got the clock counting down, and everybody's out there trying to get their scoops and their stories, and you can watch it. It really is a fun time. I mean, if you look at the hottest teams right now in hockey, they're all in the West that are considered playing over 500 hockey. You got the Wild. They look at their last 10; they're 8-2. Predators are like 7-2. They might have a tie in there. Oilers are 7-2. Hawks coming back to reality a little bit, 6-4. Even Anaheim is 6-3-1. The only team that's really doing anything in the East is the Capitals. They've won 8 out of their last 10. They arguably have the best goalie in Holtby, another guy that plays a ton of games. Columbus has come back down to earth. They've been 500 since their run. Penguins are a fantastic team. I think they're right there, but they're 500 their last 10 games. In Toronto, what Mike Babcock's done, that team's won 6 out of their last 10. So someone here is going to break out from the pack. In Montreal, I didn't even mention them. They're struggling, and they're struggling because Carey Price is struggling. And they only go as far as he goes. So there's another team under their last 10 games. They're under 500. So it's going to be fun to watch. As we said last week, this is about that time of year last year that the Penguins went off and running and pulled away from the pack, and everybody thought it was going to be the Capitals, and Washington couldn't keep up with the Penguins' speed, and I don't know if they can this year either. But if I was to go to the gambling table right now, I'd say it's the Capitals against Minnesota Wild. I see Minnesota coming out of the West right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with the Capitals. They've been amazing. And like you said, Minnesota has been amazing themselves. And even after their big win streak, like you said, I mean, they're still, winners of 8 of the last 10. And in the way Dubnyk's playing, it's just, when you have a goaltender like that, and you would have 2 of the best in the league, like you said, with Holtby and Dubnyk.
Right.
That's a very interesting pick, and it would be interesting. The one team I see, and they're playing much better now again, is Nashville.
Yes.
If they maybe could add a player or 2 at the deadline, fill maybe a little extra needs, but I really like them a lot. But yeah, all the teams, and then Chicago, of course. But when I look at the Pacific Division, I just don't know if any of those teams really have it in them as of right now to, get out of the West. I strictly see it as probably someone from the Central. I mean, anything could happen, of course, but I think right now, it'll be tough. I mean, even though LA's a little out of it now, still all 3 California teams are good, and like you said, with Edmonton there, But maybe Edmonton still needs another year before a huge run, but definitely will be in the playoffs. But I just some reason the Central I agree. Minnesota, Chicago, Nashville, or St. Louis gets Bishop and gets other things together. But it's quite.
It's going to be great.
I mean,
San Jose's playing great. Matt Jones is playing great. They've played well over their last 10. Have they increased their team speed as compared to the Penguins last year? If you look at that final, San Jose had a great run. Here they come, Stanley Cup Finals, and there was no way they could skate with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out of Pacific, I don't think San Jose can skate with the Oilers as far as team speed goes. And the fastest teams out there are the Nashvilles, the Chicago, and Minnesota. It's all team speed with solid goaltending. So it's L.A., it's going to be tough. Budai's played, fantastic for quick getting hurt the first game of the year. That team right now is doing one thing really well. They're grinding. They're happy to win games 1-0 all day long, but they're going to have to make a move right now because basically right now they're the same as Vancouver point-wise, and you look at their two rosters, they shouldn't be the same as Vancouver. They should be a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. And, of course, we do want to correct our own Emily that they are 1 point out of a playoff spot right now. But
the one bright thing with L.A. and Vancouver and even Dallas right behind is that Calgary has played 52 games. And so, L.A. has 3 games in hand on them and only 1 point behind. But you got to win the games in hand, of course.
Sure.
You do.
So
But you look at the goal differentials, it's not that good with St. Louis or Calgary.
Right.
And, that's sort of indication. And Minnesota, plus 51, that's outstanding. And, San Jose's not too bad, shabby at plus 19, Edmonton plus 20. But Kings at plus 2. But Anaheim's plus 4. But Anaheim typically doesn't have a huge goal differential anyway. And they've had some success. So I'm looking. If we had to do a prediction, I will predict the LA Kings will make the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I mean, they have the experience and they have the depth and, with Doughty and Carter and Kopitar the way they're playing right now, and they know what to do in February, March to get there. So I see them taking over some of the more inexperienced teams. I don't think Edmonton is going to go away. I think they are the real deal, and the more they play, the more confidence they get in themselves. The team that's interesting out of the East, it's amazing in year 2 what Mike Babcock has done with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
And they have 5 games in hand as compared to the Bruins that if, theoretically you win those 5 games, you add 10 points to Toronto, then they're tied with Montreal leading the Atlantic Division. That's what Babcock's system has done in year 2. And that's pretty amazing. That tells you a lot about how phenomenal a hockey coach he is.
Yeah, he really is. Well, we're up against a hard break. Rick, it's always exciting when you call in. You are the hockey guru. You are amazing. We'll get you on again hopefully next week and talk some more hockey as we wind down to see who will make the playoffs. Rick, our guy from Boston who lives in Phoenix, the hockey guru, thank you so much for calling.
Take care.
All right. Boy, he really, these Coast hockey fans, they know their hockey, right?
Oh, yeah.
This guy knows his hockey. He's really
Listen
good.
to you guys. I'm going to be an expert, a hockey aficionado before long.
Yeah, it's very exciting. But
he's with the Mike Babcock thing, right on with that, with Toronto. I didn't realize they had that many games in hand. They've only played 47, so.
Very exciting.
For
Toronto, no doubt about it. And the league, I think.
Yeah.
And we are, of course, live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix. Come on by. We're here till 4. I think they're open till, 10 or 11. And great food, great fun. We're going to give some prizes away. We're going to have a comedian from the House of Comedy on High Street, in High Street, too. We'll be here at 3:30, and we'll be right back after these words.
Check out NBC Sports Radio AM 1060, now on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD Radio, 100.7, channel number 2.
And welcome back again. You're listening to Real Hockey Talk live on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS, and we're broadcasting live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant, located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Big Ed Smith from the Atlanta Falcons, formerly from the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's not on. All right, but he has a Super Bowl ring there. It's sparkling in the light.
You never mentioned any of my other teams.
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia, Washington, am I right?
I'm just playing.
No, but I remember that. He has quite a story. What's your name of your book? We've got to get
Easy
that
Does It, The Journey of a Lifetime.
You got to buy that. I mean, it's a remarkable story. Everyone needs to know the story. I think they should make a movie, really. It's that remarkable.
I'm all for it if we can find somebody to produce it.
Yeah, that's always sort of the key. But we have Joe, the bartender. That sounds like a TV show here, joining us from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is really good. Hey, that sounds like Elvis Presley.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, right?
Thank you very much.
Right, he used to say that. Thank you very much. That was really good. Do you sing?
I do.
You do?
We do.
Oh, you do?
All right, if we get a karaoke night one of these days,
Really? You
we'll
do
have
that?
to show it off.
Hey, that'd be sort of cool.
It'd be fun.
So tell us about this great restaurant. I've been here many times. You have 3 locations, I know.
We do. We have 3 locations. We have one in Cave Creek,
Yeah.
in Chandler, and then we have the original one here.
And this is such an outstanding place. I mean, this one area here has, boy, a lot of TVs. Probably, what, 12 or 15 or more?
About 25 TVs.
Yeah. Wow, my math did not serve me well on that one. But 25 TVs, it's great, and it's such a great place to watch sporting events if you want. And then you have another section that really doesn't have TVs. So
Definitely. We have more of the family dining area. We still have a couple TVs here and there, so if you want to bring the kids and wife out,
yeah,
you can still watch the game in the corner.
That is really a cool deal, no doubt. So tell us about some of the events. You got a Super Bowl event coming up.
We do. This coming Sunday for the Super Bowl party, we have a bunch of specials. We're going to be doing ballpark $500 or so worth of giveaway raffles.
Nice.
Free entries for all of those.
Oh, wow.
We'll be doing raffle tickets at the start of the first quarter and be giving out prizes throughout the second, the third, and the final.
Wow. And is there a fee to come to the party?
There's no walk-in fee. Just come on in, help
then
yourself.
Have lunch or
we have all of our regular Sunday specials as well with drinks and food. But also we're doing a bratwurst or a chili dog thing.
Oh, wow.
Which we don't do stuff like that too much, but every once in a while for an event.
Nice.
So we'll be bringing out the grill and having that sizzling.
What time do the doors open?
We open at 9 o'clock on Sundays, and we do a breakfast thing from 9 to 11. So we have great deals on just your standard breakfast for $2.99.
wow.
And then at 11 o'clock, everything goes live. But don't worry, beers are still flowing at 9 if you would like to.
I bet, yeah. Wow, that's good hours. And then the game probably doesn't start till maybe 3? Or?
Yeah, no, it's going to be later.
4:30?
Yeah, 4:30 or something.
Yeah, but it's the day of the Super. You got to get into the environment.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to get here at 9. And what's some of the great breakfasts you have?
Oh, well, we got real simple breakfast. We got some real good burritos, but our best is going to be probably the Lunatics Huevos Rancheros.
Oh, wow.
Nice and spicy dish. We got a potato pancake sits on the bottom. It was compared to be Huevos Rancheros on crack.
Oh, really?
The Yelp review.
Oh, that's funny.
I think that came in anonymously.
Oh, yeah. I bet it. Yeah, they put extra seasoning.
How come every time we talk about food, your eyes light up?
Because this is a great place. I love this place. This has, wait till you, well, you've been here.
I've been here
so
before,
you
yeah.
know how good
times.
it is.
Yeah.
This is great. And the Super Bowl raffle you talked about, free prizes, drawings. So that's going to be exciting. People can win a bunch of stuff.
We got a lot of giveaways for that. It's going to be random, so they're still out there shopping for some good giveaways, but won't be disappointed.
Wow. So if you have no place to go, even if you have a place to go, come down here to Valle Luna. Yeah.
Come here first. Get some stuff for your Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
Take it back home.
Do you cater?
We do catering.
Oh,
We have
wow.
a massive catering menu.
Tell everybody about some of your featured dishes. You just introduced us to one.
Oh yeah, we did. We did just take Ed from the fajitas over to the fundito real quick. But we also have a new hot and spicy menu. So for those of you that like it extra hot, we've changed some of the machaca beefs to an extra spicy version. We have a new hatch green chili.
Oh.
Now I got to stay away from all these though, because there's a flaming pepper next to these dishes. So if you're not ready for it, you're not going to be. You're going to be okay when you get home.
Can you adjust any meal to a hot and spicy, or is it just the hot and spicy menu?
We do hot and spicy for everything. We have a tomatillo salsa, which is a nice and hot and spicy sauce where you can literally put that on anything you like to.
Oh, man.
If you want it hot, just say so.
Would you recommend that for my fundito? Is that what it is?
Are you sleeping alone tonight, or are you going to be in trouble later?
He hopes not. No, I mean, I don't know his situation here.
I wouldn't touch the fundito.
Okay.
That is perfect as it is.
Okay, we'll leave the fundito as it is.
That is good. So definitely next week, February 5th.
February 5th.
Super Bowl party here, prizes and a bunch of different specials. How about happy hour on a regular night?
We have a happy hour Monday through Saturday. So Monday through Friday, we have a happy hour from 3 o'clock to 7:30. Outstanding drink specials, beer prices, margaritas, and a pretty large food menu for a bunch of appetizers as well.
Oh, really?
On Saturday, we started at noon. So if you want to get out of the house a little earlier, we do noon to 6 on Saturday. Same deal. And then on Sundays, every Sunday, regardless of Super Bowl, we have an all-day special as well.
Oh, you do?
We do.
What are some of your great appetizers that you have?
Oh, we got some, probably the hot ones we got taco basket specials. We got these great bandito burritos. We got a new cantina nacho. All of our appetizer dips are on special as well, but you could easily turn a happy hour into a dinner just like that.
Wow, that sounds exciting. Well, Saturdays might be tough unless we broadcast here every Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll just have to save you guys a booth over here.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. And then I do want to let them, the listeners know, the National Signing Day, National Football Foundation aligned with Marley's this year. And it's the 5th Annual College Signing Day. It's going to be Wednesday, February 1st, 2017, of course. It's going to be at Marley Sports Grill, Desert Ridge. That's a great place, too, by the way. We've done that. I don't think you were with us at that point, but we did a broadcast there. Nice people. We know some of the owners. And the time, 8:30 a.m., registration with continental breakfast, 9 o'clock a.m. announcements begin. And, Kevin McCabe, we know him.
Now, will they have a lot of the young men in person there, or are they
I think
doing
it's the seniors
the
that
seniors?
they're signing and announcing where they're going to college.
They're going to be bringing, I think it's a lot of the seniors and their families are going to be there. So far we heard there's maybe 100 or so people that will be there.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, you see them do those all the time. Like at the high schools, they'll have a news crew or something to bring them all together. I think and make an event out of it is.
Bunch of really good kids.
Yeah.
I heard one that's going signing to Columbia.
Oh,
so
good.
Not just football players there.
Oh,
really
wow.
Good
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Very important question, real quick, Dave.
Yeah.
What's your order?
Well, I'm still thinking about it.
Okay, I'll put mine and Ed's in real quick, and then
Okay, and I'll put it in at 3. But
okay, cool.
I'm leaning towards the fajitas, though, the shrimp.
Good stuff, right?
But no sour, none of the dressings and stuff.
You want me to get that or wait?
It's all on the side. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a build your own platter.
Oh,
yeah. With the shrimp? Fajita?
Yeah, fajita, shrimp.
Fajita?
Well, does it come with rice and beans?
It comes with rice and beans and guac and sour.
So
you got lettuce, you got cheese. You got the
that's
whole
good.
works.
So no guac, no sour cream, no salsa. That's usually the big three.
Give them the jalapeno cream cheese sauce.
No, not that, though. I don't even like that. But the shrimp fajitas, and that's funny. I'm doing an order for everyone listening. But not the dressing, but the beans and rice sound good. All right, so we did it. We did the order. Now
wait, no sour cream, guac, and what else?
No salsa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds
all right.
good.
So anyway, how long have you been here?
I have been here. Ironically, Valentine's Day is my inauguration day, if you will.
Oh,
so
wow.
5 years.
Really? You started on Valentine's Day?
I do.
Wow.
Still single.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're starting on Valentine's Day, you would be single.
Which, speaking of Valentine's Day, we do have Valentine's Day specials this year as well. And so Valentine's Day lands on a Tuesday this year, but we're going to be doing specials on Sunday, on Monday, and on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we have it with a special dessert, with a rose. It's a pretty nice little setup.
It really is. And
so if you forget, We got a place for you to save the day.
So the husbands that forgot it was Valentine's Day and they go, oh, my gosh, where do I make reservations?
Handled.
Handles?
Show up at Valle Luna.
Oh.
Handles.
Oh, I thought you meant handles.
No.
Something out there in Scottsdale. But, yeah, you're right. And but you may be crowded anyway because it's a popular place.
We will be. But if you give us a call, we'll see if we can put you in there.
That's right. And, it's definitely in all your locations, I've been to the Cave Creek one. It's a little different setup than this.
Definitely. This will be our largest location.
Yeah, this is rather large, I must say.
Deceptively large.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
You opened the door, you weren't expecting as much
Well,
seating.
the few times I've eaten here, I've always eaten on the other side.
Oh,
I didn't even realize.
They had a whole nother side.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it. And came in for the show today, and I came back here, and I thought, wow, this is it's so much bigger, yeah.
So are you a sports fan?
I am a sports fan.
What's your favorite sport?
It's got to be college football.
Oh, well, college football's cool.
Which makes it tough to work here because there are a lot of Ohio State fans that work and own this place.
Oh, really?
I am a Wolverines fan.
You're Michigan.
I'm the lone one, so I get picked
the
on
lone
quite
wolf.
a bit. I think I hear some Ohio State fans.
Yeah, they're looking at you right now. Ooh, one's got a
One just asked for their
utensil
check.
that's flying this way. Not really. Where are you guys from? What? You're
they're Sun Devils.
ASU
Yeah, they're
fan?
Sun
Okay,
Devils.
Cool. Not U of A. No. Ooh.
Harsh words to say.
They're going to attack me on that one. Okay, but ASU, not bad. Hasn't had a whole lot of, success.
Has its moments. The fanship stays strong.
Yeah.
So.
I like SC personally.
I'm
right? From California.
They put together a good football team.
Boy, they made a nice run this year after losing a
start.
Did we ever find out where they were the final poll?
I think they ranked 3.
Did they?
Three?
Yeah.
That's it, right? I mean, from where they were.
A couple of those games go different in the beginning of the season. They could have been the ones playing.
Yeah.
They were probably one of the better teams in the country at the end of the season.
At the end of the year.
Obviously, to finish up in that top 3 or 4.
But Alabama smacked them in the
They did. I think that was first game of the season.
It was brutal.
That's a tough start for a freshman quarterback for SC, though, to show up against Alabama.
That quarterback is phenomenal, isn't he?
Outstanding.
He's
set a Rose Bowl record as a freshman in your home stadium.
He's got a good future. He looks like a pro-type standard quarterback. So Michigan. You're from Michigan.
I'm from Portland, Oregon, actually.
Oh, but you like Michigan.
I have. I've been to Michigan one time, and it was for Harbaugh's first home game.
Oh, wow.
With my younger brother. It was quite the day.
Wow, that's cool. Now, Ed Smith, like I said, he played for various NFL teams, but won a Super Bowl ring in Atlanta, the Denver game. His brother, Irv Smith, came out of Notre Dame, I think a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, 1993.
Played for the Niners and a couple
Saints,
other teams.
drafted by the Saints.
Yeah.
Played with the Niners.
But Irv's son, which is Ed's nephew, freshman tight end, Alabama. I mean, impressive.
Outstanding.
Is that impressive?
That is damn impressive.
That is really impressive. He's got a good career ahead of him, I think. So it runs in the family, which is really cool. And it's exciting to track, a young kid coming out of high school, big time. And when I say big time, you can't get bigger than Alabama.
No doubt.
Impressive. So this will be exciting as we track him next year and the next couple years and see what happens. But you can't, the coach, Alabama, right?
I know, right?
It's going to be good. So what's another sport you do or you like?
Well, I am a hockey fan.
You are?
I am a hockey fan. I'm an NFL fan. Really, the only one that I haven't got on board with is the whole NBA situation, which, ironically enough, coming from Portland, was the only pro team that we had in the state.
So when did you grow up when Bill Walton was playing for Portland?
My favorite when growing up was Sabonis, when Sabonis was playing for Portland. Yeah, so we had Sabonis. I think we still had Sean at that time. That was a little after the Drexler part. But, a couple of those guys playing around.
But, soccer's big in Portland.
Definitely.
I mean, they're drawing, 30, 40, 50,000?
Yeah, they get a lot going. And that happened pretty recently, I think, over the past maybe 10 years.
We're going to have our soccer correspondent on at 3 o'clock today. And U.S. national team playing Suburbia in San Diego, right around the corner here.
We do get pretty pumped up for when World Cup rolls around in here.
It's fun.
I love USA soccer is just something else.
Especially, in my opinion, the women's national team, outstanding.
Oh, fun to watch.
Oh, man.
Isn't it?
We had let's see, what's her first name? Rachel? No, the cute one. Well, anyway.
Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan on the team. I mean, on her show. Christine Rapone, I think, the former captain, and Amy LaFavette, who was on the team, but I think came out of ASU. I don't think made the team this year. But it's a lot of fun to watch them, and we follow them closely. A little disappointing in this World Cup. The Olympics, actually, where they didn't do a whole lot.
It's tough, though.
Yeah, they were expected to possibly win the whole thing because they won the previous Olympics and the World Cup.
But, sometimes you go 18-0 and you can't win that big one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Sweden took them out on a sort of a defensive stall tactic type of arrangement like they used to do in the day with
the four corners.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't get the ball, you're not going to score.
Yeah, so is it,
well
but hey, you got to adjust to who and what they're doing.
Agreed.
I mean, it's so what else can you tell us about this great place? Anything that we've missed out on? You have regular customers, obviously.
We do. I
you
see
get to
people
know them
5 times a week sometimes.
Wow.
We know their families. We know their phone numbers. We know their order before they know their order.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of people that have been coming in here since 1983, since we opened.
See, that's awesome. There's nothing better when a customer comes in and the servers or whoever say, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so," or "Hey, Dave, how you doing?" Same as usual, or you already have it made for them.
Absolutely.
That's good service.
Well, we have a couple teachers that work here that taught when they were kids and watched them grow all the way up and got to serve them their first beer.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of fun.
That's too funny.
Yeah, right?
Wow, that is remarkable. So you're still single. We're going to put on a dating game called Match No Match.
Oh, yeah, let's match all the way.
No is spelled K-N-O-W, though.
Oh.
It's a twist on it.
All right.
So maybe we get you on, and you may win a lucky date with Match No Match.
Deal. She's driving, though.
Okay. Oh, designated driver?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you probably, you probably hand out a lot of drinks, but you can't do much participation.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it works, I think, in the day. See, I know these things. But so there's a lot of good stuff. We'll remind everyone the Super Bowl party next Sunday. Oh, doors open. Well, you said 11.
Doors open at 9 o'clock.
But 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Now, the party will start whenever you get here. We'll be doing the specials all day long.
Wow.
And so it's not necessarily just going to start at Super Bowl time, but that's when all the raffles will come into order.
Well, I figure you got to eat all day, so you got to come in for breakfast.
Definitely.
And then start going for lunch, and then the dinner action is good, too.
Yeah, and we got some really comfy booths, so if you want to squeeze in a nap after that, I'm not going to fight you.
In fact, you should get here early to get the seat that you want.
That is true.
Available, but you got TV spread out pretty much everywhere.
Do you anticipate a bigger crowd for either side coming in here, Atlanta or New England?
I'm going to guess that we're going to have a lot more New England fans coming in just throughout the season. We've had a few Atlanta supporters, but overall I've seen a lot of Tom jerseys in this place.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah, me wearing one of them included.
So you
he was a Michigan boy, so I do love the guy.
So you like so you like the Patriots and you like the Patriots, meaning you like them as a team and you think they're going to win.
I do. Well, I like Tom.
Yeah.
I'm putting it all in Tom. Now, Atlanta's a damn good football team.
They
and
have
I could
shown.
Absolutely see them winning the football game.
They look pretty good against Green Bay.
Well, anytime you give Belichick 2 weeks to prepare, though, that's a tough nut to crack. He's going to come up with a wrinkle here and there, and but Atlanta did have the highest scoring offense, or either first or second highest scoring offense in the league this year.
They did have some.
It might turn into either a shootout or some crazy defensive battle. You never know.
Well, every Pats Super Bowl has come down to, the last minute, the last play, it seems like, anyways, hasn't it?
Yeah, the most heartbreaking, I do like Seattle, and that was heartbreaking. They could have won that game.
I got a Pats fan over here eyeballing us.
Oh, no.
She's getting a little upset.
Yeah, but remember that, was that a bad call or was that a right call?
Yeah, it was a bad call because he got picked off. If
they score a touchdown.
If they score a touchdown, in hindsight is 20/20.
But when you're first and goal on the 1-inch line?
Well, you got to remember, too.
I don't know, right?
New England was stacked at the line of scrimmage. So, like I said, if he ends up throwing it, it's a great, if they complete it for a touchdown, it's a great call because it was intercepted, or even if it was just knocked down, we never even think about that play again, because it was intercepted. It was.
Now, who called? Was that the offensive coordinator, you think, that called it?
Yeah.
So poor Pete Carroll had to sort of accept responsibility for that, and he did. I think he fired the guy though. but that I'm sort of a Pete Carroll fan. I like USC, and he came from SC,
and then being a Seattle fan, it kind of fell into pieces.
Yeah. But hey,
just to follow up on your SC, they actually did jump all the way from 9th to 3rd in the final poll.
That's incredible, right?
Outstanding, right?
Ohio State was 6th, and Michigan ended up at 10. So.
Hey, I'm happy with finishing in there.
That's not bad. Yeah.
His first 2 years with that team, I'm real happy with where they're coming along. A little sad Jabril had to declare, but good for him.
Oh yeah.
Got to go make that money.
I suspect SC will come in the
preseason poll very high.
Maybe 2 or 3.
I could see them. I could see them up there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Not. Well, let's see. Who could be number 2?
I mean, you could put it. Clemson, but I don't know how that quarterback situation is going to go. So
I sort of doubt it. But, I mean, it could happen, right?
It could happen.
Yeah.
But we're not going to learn anything in week 1 or 2 anyway.
No,
so.
not at all. So I'm next season. How about Michigan, how they look?
We're excited for it. We got mostly everybody coming back. We lost a couple guys on defense with Charlton and then with Peppers going. But same quarterback, same offensive.
Oh.
Yeah, and we get a real big game to kick off the season. I think it's Florida in Arlington.
Oh, wow.
At Cowboy Stadium is the first game of the season for them.
Oh, wow. That is really cool.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go the same way when we got to play Alabama at Arlington a few years back, and I think it was 42-0 or something like that.
Oh, that doesn't sound
tough to watch.
No, that is a tough situation. So, well, Joe, you're a star now.
It's about time.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
And we got to get you a woman. There's a song about that. Who sang that song? Right?
I know, right? Looking at this.
Because he said he was single, and Valentine's Day is coming up. And
that might be a strategy, though, is to be single. He might want to remain single.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm available on the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, anytime before that, I'm packed.
There you go. Wow. This is cool. So you work right here, this large
right here?
bar.
This is our house.
Wow, that's got to be fun. Is it true about bartenders? They're like psychologists. People will sell them issues.
Yeah, just talk to me about whatever you got. Tell me what color you like and what you can't drink, and I will make you something to make you happy.
Oh, wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds actually good. Right? I don't know what I like. I like Riesling wine.
I could make that happen. We don't have any Riesling, but I could figure something out for
Moscato, probably.
No, don't have that either.
But probably something.
I bet they make a good margarita here, too.
Oh,
I do
wonderful
like
margaritas.
I like
here.
margaritas,
Absolutely.
actually.
That's going to be probably the most popular drink. I mean, we have four tanks over there of frozen margaritas that we go through every day.
I like mine on the rocks, though. I'm not
that's
a big
the best
frozen
guy. I mean, frozen if you're out by the pool,
maybe,
or something like that. But
I like the salt around it.
Oh, we can do that.
And sometimes you put sugar around it.
I can put bacon around the rim if you wanted to.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Right.
But why sugar instead of salt?
We do sugar for the sweet ones. Strawberry, mango, peach.
Oh, that's how it works. I think salt goes better with the
salt goes better with just a regular margarita, absolutely. But some
That's
just love their salt.
Oh, wow. That is very – I usually order extra salt. Okay, so I'm strange. But
I'll grab a shaker for you. I got one right
yeah, really. Well, Joe, thank you so much for dropping by. Wait, dropping by? You work here.
Yeah, I got to go clock in about 10 minutes.
That's right. We should extend this so you can have a little more of a vacation.
I know. I appreciate it.
I
was trying to get the day off all day.
But you know your college football, and I appreciate that.
We have our moments.
Well, when we come back, we'll have you on again.
I'd love to.
That'd be good. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh,
Thanks,
absolutely.
Joe.
So, we're up against a break in a couple minutes here. But so we did our predictions. I think we did. I said Atlanta. No, what did you say? Did you say Atlanta?
I know. I actually, against popular demand, I'm going with New England.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, if I was a betting man. I mean, my heart lies with Atlanta, obviously,
Yeah.
because of my organization. But,
Sure.
when you're talking about the New England Patriots and the Super Bowl and what they've done, consistently, it seems like the only team that can beat them is the Giants.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, they're, perfect 5-0. So.
Well, and Greg, who are you picking?
I don't know who's playing.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyone but the Patriots.
Okay, good. Give me some knuckles.
Which means
Atlanta.
that's a former team, one of them, the Falcons.
Yeah, we're going for Atlanta on your behalf.
I appreciate that. Like I said, I do hope they pull it out myself.
Yeah. It'll be, Tom Brady, some say the best quarterback ever.
I would put him in that top 1 to 3
Who would be in the top? Peyton Manning, probably?
No. Peyton Manning was a great regular season quarterback, not a great postseason quarterback. I would go with John Elway, Joe Montana, and Brady. Those are my – not in that – I'd have to figure out the order, but those would be my top 3 in terms of quarterbacks.
Steve Young?
Steve – great career, but not that top echelon, not that top 3.
Definitely not Roman Gabriel.
No.
I remember him from the Rams.
I remember him too.
he had I think a moment in the sun. Didn't they go to the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh once?
You're stretching my memory a little bit.
The fearsome foursome. Remember Deacon Jones, Rosie Greer?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they were so impressed that I know the football action.
Are you reading it off?
That's back in the day when they could use the head slaps and all the they
Merlin Olsen.
Try to decapitate quarterbacks. Yeah.
Conrad Dobler, I think they said he was. Merlin was not quite fond of the guy. He did some interesting things that I'm sure you've seen. That probably are not.
Back in
legal.
that day, you didn't want to tick off a defensive lineman because they literally could lay the wood to you back then.
Oh, they big.
Like I said,
strong.
they were all. Look at some of that old footage. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, incredible.
Tragic.
Times have changed. Huh?
Yeah. Now you touch a quarterback, you just brush your pinky across his helmet. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. Well, it's probably trying to avoid the concussions.
That's true.
Well, they've gone a little too far, though. Let's be honest.
It's like in basketball a little with fouls.
Oh yeah.
Everything's
a flagrant now. You got to go to the video to look.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as a hard foul anymore. There's you look back through the Jordan years when it was, to get to the rim. Oh my goodness, you were taking your own life in your hands.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And now it's like, oh no, he touched him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
the play is under review. We're calling a flagrant.
A foul.
He got backed up.
Now, I know we're getting ready into the hockey talk, but has hockey moved to that point where it's become a little softer, or?
I mean, you don't see like the fights. I mean, the enforcers aren't really in the league anymore. Mm-hmm. But you have a situation where guys will stand up for their teammates still, which is good. You see clean hits that are hard, but sometimes people get upset over.
Okay.
But if they're clean, they're clean. And not as rough as before, but not bad.
Well, we are live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix. Come on down. We're here till 4, and they're open probably 10 or 11, and good food, good fun, good environment. And we will be right back after this break.
NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
And welcome back again. You're listening to Breakthrough Sports live on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060, KDUS. KDUS, yes, it is KDUS, in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Ed Smith, former Atlanta Falcon. And, hey, people loved your Super Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah.
People are gathering around there. You still have it, right?
Oh, yeah, it's right here.
Don't let it off your finger.
Well, no, I've let it off my finger before on airplanes and stuff like that. And, people sometimes ask me, aren't you afraid somebody's going to take your ring? And I always tell them, until I get my ring back, nobody's getting off this plane.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're like the feds.
Yeah.
No, they take people off the plane usually.
Yeah.
So, that's right. So, well, joining us now, because we do love soccer. Soccer and hockey have some similarities. And we have an amazing soccer mind, Oscar Urtiaga, talking soccer. Hey, Oscar, how are you?
Hey, good to be on. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we are good. And, of course, you know me, and you don't know Ed Smith, though, a former NFL player. I'm looking at a Super Bowl ring right now. It's pretty cool, I will say.
How are you, Oscar?
Well, hey, doing well. Look forward to meeting you one day and taking a look at that ring.
Oh, yeah. So Oscar, it's interesting that, we had a little talk off the air. There's been a sort of a philosophical change on the USA soccer team. And they play Serbia tomorrow in San Diego, and you're going to see that. Tell us what this philosophical change is, and what do you think the impact will be?
Well, absolutely. Well, for anyone who's been, even just following a little bit of the men's national soccer team here in the U.S., it has been a very hectic, probably 6 months. The men's national team are currently in the process of qualifying for the FIFA World Cup that'll take place in Russia in 2018. And their first 2 qualifying games, they've actually lost. So the United States is a little bit behind the schedule of what they were hoping to have been in as far as the standings. And at the end of the year, the U.S. Soccer Federation fired their longtime head coach, Jurgen Klinsmann, who Jurgen had a very, as a player, he had a very, very successful career. He was a longtime national player for the German national soccer team. He was very successful there, and he was also a coach for some professional teams in Germany. But he's also a U.S. citizen, and he was the coach for the U.S. team. And he had faced a lot of criticism during his tenure as a coach. A lot of people would have remembered during the last World Cup in 2014, he was heavily criticized for leaving off Landon Donovan.
I remember
not putting him on the World Cup team. And they were in a very difficult group during that time, and they were successfully able to get out of the knockout round, out of their group of 4, and but then lost in the following round. But he had been criticized for that. Also, another thing that he did receive some criticism for from different folks in the media was that he had a huge preference for players who United States players who play overseas, so play in the German soccer league, the Spanish soccer league. He had a very strong preference for them. So a lot of the players who play in the Major League Soccer League here in the United States felt like they weren't really getting a good chance. Now, fast forward to tomorrow, it'll be the very first game for the new head coach, Bruce Arena. Bruce Arena used to be the coach of the U.S. national team about 15 years ago. And then he had been the coach for the Los Angeles Galaxy. And during his tenure, they were very successful, won several championships. And what he did this time, especially during these 2 preseason games that'll then take place before the next round of World Cup qualifying, is he brought in all players that were only from Major League Soccer. Every single player he has on his roster comes from teams here in the United States.
Wow, so that's quite a shift. And so what's your opinion of that? Do you think, obviously he knows a lot of the MLS players around the United States. Is it because maybe there'd be more a close-knit group, players know each other, it'll be more of a team effort?
Yeah, it's tough to say. Right now, in this time period, in kind of the January, February time frame, this is kind of known as the off-season because Major League Soccer, they are just now starting to go and do their spring training. Most of the teams have just been practicing about 3 or 4 days now. And so a lot of these players have been kind of in the off-season. They've been relaxing, spending time with their families. One of the most recent stories on USsoccer.com is about there's 3 or 4 different players on the U.S. Squad right now that just got married almost 2 weeks ago. And they're skipping their honeymoon in order to be able to be training with the U.S. national team, preparing for these games. So
and they're still married, huh? They're still married. Wow. That's dedication. You got to love that. I'm sure they had an agreement with their wives that the honeymoon will be with the guys.
Exactly. Well, in soccer, being able to play for your country is one of the highest respects and the highest levels that one person can be at. So when they received the call that they, were going to be on the U.S. roster, very, very few times ever does a player actually reject that opportunity. They always go and get to play. So it's a great opportunity for them. And this game tomorrow that's happening in San Diego at Qualcomm Stadium, it's going to be a big game because it's for many reasons. It's going to be the first game under the new coach, Bruce Arena. There's going to be several players making their first time. They're making their first appearance to the U.S. national team. Also, one of the most successful players who's likely to start tomorrow is a gentleman named Josie Altidore. And if he plays tomorrow, he's in the lineup, he will get his 100th cap for the U.S., meaning he's made 100 appearances for the United States. Oh. And he will only be the 17th player in the men's national team history to earn 100 appearances for the U.S.
That's fantastic.
And because he's only 27 years old in 84 days as of this Sunday, he will be the second youngest U.S. player in U.S. history to achieve that feat. The only person that he trailed is Landon Donovan. It's going to be a big game for him. And then also, this is the first time that the United States has played Serbia since the FIFA organization that oversees all the professional soccer has recognized them. It used to be, due to the political circumstances, they were originally listed as recognized as Yugoslavia. So this is the first time that the U.S. will be playing Serbia as recognized by FIFA.
Wow, that's awesome.
So how do you think we'll ever get to the level of talent that the rest of the world has when it comes to soccer? And the reason I ask is because, I've been over in Europe and their soccer is like life to them. It's like air. And over here, it's possibly our fourth or fifth sport. And, I know they're changing philosophy. They're changing coaches. They're trying to change the whole aura around the sport. But unless you have the players on the field, it's, it's like trying to put air into a flat tire for the most part. Do you think we'll ever get to that level?
I think so. And that was one of the major ideas that the previous coach, Jurgen Klinsmann, had wanted to do. He really saw the lack of a development academy or some type of system to be able to groom young people through the U.S. soccer development in order to get them to that highest level. Most of the countries in South America, most of them in Europe, they enter these academies where it's eat, drink, and sleep, soccer 24/7. They go to classes with their teammates. They study with their teammates. They practice sometimes twice a day, all together. And so they build that camaraderie, and it's a real focus on that with the goal of them becoming professional. Here in the United States, soccer is actually one of the most popular sports among youth, and it typically falls around the middle school, high school age, because once they enter that age range, they decide to really focus on one sport or maybe two sports. And given the amount of scholarship opportunities, given the amount of potential money that could be made for other sports here in the U.S., such as basketball, baseball, football, most of those players typically will then go and focus on those sports. Whereas with soccer, it hasn't been that case. But I think it's starting to grow more. I think one thing that's really unique and interesting about having this soccer game, the first game of the new year in San Diego, is that San Diego recently made the news because, obviously with the Chargers leaving, but there was a group of investors that announced a plan to build a stadium that would be jointly used from the San Diego State Aztecs football team and then could be used for a professional soccer team, a Major League Soccer team. And so I think
awesome.
So I think the timing and announcement of having the first game of the new year in San Diego is pretty neat.
So it sounds like there may be an MLS team coming San Diego's way.
That's the goal. That's what they're trying to do here in San Diego. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, the news broke just a couple weeks ago, so it's the details are still being hammered out, and there's still a lot of conversations to be had. But that's one of the plans is that they're going to develop a mixed use facility, allowing for more faculty housing, more student housing, and then they'll have a stadium that will be used jointly from the San Diego State Aztecs football team as well as potentially professional soccer team.
I think that's awesome. And I wish they'd get an MLS team out here in Phoenix, but not sure if they will or won't. But I know they're expanding, though. But Atlanta has a team. Was that last year or this year, I think they expanded. Might have been this year.
Yeah, Atlanta doesn't have a professional soccer team yet. There's several cities that are trying to fill. Right now, there's about 22 teams, and the Major League Soccer is trying to get up to 26. So there's different cities that are trying to vie for those Final Four spots.
Wow. And there's many cities that they're trying, 30, 40, 50,000 people. That's decent.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's impressive. There's no doubt about it. Wow. So have fun tomorrow. We'll have you call in and do a post-game review, if you can, maybe next week on the game and see what happened.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Hey, Oscar, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, Oscar.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, Oscar Urtiaga. Boy, I know he plays soccer about 3-4 times a week.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's definitely a great soccer guy. There's no question about it. He knows the soccer. And I think it's a fun sport. I sort of like it.
Well, he brought up a great point because I played soccer. I only played 1 year of organized football when I was a kid. I played at 8, didn't like it. I went to soccer. I played soccer from 8 to 13.
Really?
And then I got to high school, and just as he said, it was, I wasn't going to play soccer in high school. That just wasn't the cool thing to do.
Oh, wow.
Back in our day, back in my day.
Right.
So I wasn't even signed up for the football team at the time. The coaches found out I wasn't doing anything and came after me. But I was a soccer player all the way through to high school.
What position did you play?
I played goalie and I played center. So I would go score the goals, and I would go back and play goalie to stop.
My, you're kidding.
Wow.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Now, was this actually during the game per se, where you would go score?
I would go. I started center. I'd go score because we usually, we didn't have a lot of kids that could stop the goals.
I thought it was at the same time.
No, not at the same time because I couldn't use my hands. I would make a switch.
Well, they make an exception there. You don't need your hands.
They would put me in goalie, and then I would stop all the goals, and we'd win.
You didn't like football at 8th grade?
No, 8 years old.
My first time.
No. I wasn't very aggressive.
Oh.
And the first time I played, putting all the padding and everything on, and I think I took a hit, and I remember telling Mom, I remember going home from that, probably first or second practice, and I remember my buddy who hit me, his name is Brian Jones. We went all the way through school together. We graduated together. One of my best friends. I'm actually a godfather to his son,
nice.
Tyler. So, Brian hit me when we were 8 years old. I remember going home that first night or second night, whatever it was, and I told my mom I didn't want to do it anymore. And she told me, we don't quit in this house, so you're going to play this season out. And then, after that, you can do whatever you'd like. But, yeah, I ended up playing that first season under protest, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
I got to tell you something that I've known you, 8 years now, 9 years, a long time.
Yeah.
When you talk about your parents, it seems like your parents are wonderful. They just sound amazing to me.
They're great people. To me especially.
Yeah.
They're my whole world. They helped raise me and my brother to be the men that we are.
I think that's awesome, and
thank
they've done a great job. There's no question about it. And
you've done a great job with this young man over here too.
Oh, the young man here, the hockey guy. Yes, he's a hockey.
No,
but no, that's a nice credit. It's we got to get them on the show sometime.
Oh, anytime. They listen they listen every week. They would love when I was doing my own show when I first started broke into radio. I had my dad on. We did a show together.
Wow.
And,
We'll have to do that. I think that'd be sort of cool.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
that'd be really good.
Well, they'd love
get Irv here, your brother, and if your nephew's in town, he's probably going to stay in Alabama.
He will at some point. He'll come out and hang out. When school's out, I imagine probably in the summer he'll be out.
Well,
whenever their break is, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We get him on, right?
Yeah, he'd love to. Yeah,
it'd be a lot of fun, I think, to do that. Your parents have to be really proud of you guys.
I think more than anything, they're proud that we became good men.
Yeah, that's got to be important.
Yeah, even more than the athletic side of things. They've always, I definitely vouch they've enjoyed themselves in terms of being able to travel not just the country but the world, watching us play sports.
Oh, nice.
And that's a big bonus. But more than anything, the fact that we've never embarrassed them in the news or anything like that.
Yeah.
That we get a check for that in
That's
itself.
That's a big check. You're right. That's a good thing because, sometimes athletes, entertainers.
I preface that by saying in no way are any of us perfect. But like I said, I've always lived by just don't embarrass the family and the family name,
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
That is up.
My mom has a few stories she would be willing to share with you, though, how we were, like I said, there was no way we were perfect kids or men, but we've always tried to do them proud.
Well, the big surprise for Ed is your mom is on the line right now to hear these stories.
And there's many stories. Yes. No, I'm kidding. So, and you were the oldest, right?
Yes.
So did that put extra responsibility on you, do you think?
Yeah, I was always the leader. I took some of the lumps early, too, even going all the way back to the recruiting process, and it's interesting, we're right near signing day. But I remember when I was coming out of high school, I was getting calls by every university in the country. And at the time, this is our first time through, and you got to remember, this is long before all the social media and stuff like that. Our phone was ringing 1,000 times a night.
Oh, my
and
God.
The problem was, we didn't know you can actually tell schools no and be okay with it. I was taking conversations from schools that I knew for 100% sure I wasn't going to them, but a coach would call, and I'm taking calls. I'm letting them come in to visit me at the school, and it just got to be kind of overwhelming. Well, my brother had the opportunity to go through it after I went through it a couple years later.
So
and the process was. So I was the leader. Irv will tell you that. His goal, he was always trying to catch me and some of my accomplishments. My goal was to make sure that he was good, but I was great. I always wanted to be at least, anything I was going to set a mark for him. I wanted him to get close to it, but set it high enough that,
That makes sense. And who's the most famous coach that called you or that you met with?
Oh, Joe Paterno came to my high school. I mean, I visited Florida. I could have went just anywhere in the country.
SC, did they
SC.
Wow, you had
UCLA. I said I took my visit to Florida, Florida State, Clemson, Notre Dame.
You must have been incredible. You were tight end in high school.
Tight end, yeah.
You were like heads and tails above everyone, obviously.
Well,
you had to be.
I was good.
What was it about? What in your opinion, in the coach's opinion, as a tight end, what was your greatest skill?
My hands and my athleticism. I was 6'4", 215 going, coming out of high school. And back then, you got to remember, NFL tight ends back in the late 80s were 230, 235. Now we look at them, your Gronks and people like that who are in, 280, playing larger to 6'7", 6'8". Back in the day, I was coming out of high school. I was already pro tight end size. Give me a few days in the weight room.
So you had good hands.
Good hands. I could run. A
lot of touchdowns they threw to you?
We ran the wishbone in high school.
No way.
Yes.
They wasted your talent.
My talent.
You had to do a lot of blocking.
When I did get the ball, I mean, I scored, which I never understood to this day. And it's funny. I go back. One of my most dear friends in the world is my tight ends coach from high school, Mr. Pete Brower.
Yeah.
When I was back a few months ago, I took him out to breakfast, and we sat around and we talked about, some of our old teams, and we always scratch our heads about the offense we ran back then. But it was a popular offense that was kind of easy to install and run. But, but these hands were kind of wasted in high school. But I was still able to – I was all-state. Even as a blocking, when like I said, when they did throw, I caught everything they threw to me. So
I mean, looking back, do you think that well? First of all, how good was the team?
We went to the States my junior and senior year. And this was when it was real serious competition. We lost the Group 4 semifinals, I think, my senior year.
Now, looking back, have you ever thought about if they did not do the wishbone and they had just, sort of an NFL type of arrangement?
Oh, I probably would have records back there that might still stand to this day if we'd have threw the ball.
Would the team be as good, you think?
Oh, yeah, no. You mean back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the thing was we had all the elements of a great team. We had great running backs, but we also had my high school quarterback. He ended up going to East Carolina on a full scholarship, but he had an arm. We had wide receivers out. We had me on the inside. My brother was a sophomore in my senior year, and he was like a third or fourth wide receiver.
Really?
Because he was tall, but he was slimmer at the time.
He was a tight end.
Yeah, he was a tight end. As soon as I left, he kind of took over. For me, after I left, he took over the reins.
So, I wonder. It's just a coach's preference. He thought that was the best.
It was, like I said, it was very popular. I graduated in '87, and you had like teams like Oklahoma, Nebraska, some of those, teams in the Big 12. I think there were at the time that was what they were running, and it was, it was something. The crazy part is in my sophomore year, we actually ran a pro-style offense.
Oh.
Then in my junior year, we switched to this wishbone, and like I said, it was head-scratching, but I just do what I was.
This was New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
It should have been the Midwest. They do the wishbone.
Well, the
Oklahoma.
wishbone was all over the place. It was it was considered at the time it was a fad. You know how now everybody's running the read options and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the fad at the time, and I was unfortunate enough to be in that wishbone offense, but I still made it work to my advantage. Like I said, when the ball was thrown at me, I caught it. I scored touchdowns. I did everything I was supposed to do. I got some of that old footage. I'll bring it in for you one of these days.
I'd love to see that, right? That'd be cool.
A few years ago, I went back to my old high school, and they actually did a highlight reel for me.
Yeah,
so
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
And, wow, that's very exciting. So, it couldn't have gotten any better, though, if you were in the, not a wishbone and you caught all these other touchdowns.
Well, who knows? Maybe I would have been.
Because you already got recruited by everyone.
Yeah. Like I said, it was. I was blessed with the talent and used it to the best of my ability.
Yeah. Wow, that is very exciting. A young guy. How did you? I'm just wondering. We got to do a whole interview on you, like an hour, and how you handled the pressure, because that. For a young kid, right? 17, 18.
Yeah, I was 17.
To have Penn State and SC, powerhouse
football
program.
I'll throw the other wrinkle at you, because as soon as I was considering all sports. And when I ended up signing my baseball scholarship, obviously you think all the hard work is over, and then I ended up getting drafted. So it was a bunch of decisions and things I had to weed my way through, to figure out the path. But, like I said, it's all good.
Man. And that's all in your book, though.
Yes.
Wow, this is so exciting. No question about it. So, we're going to have to do that, right? Have a complete interview. I don't think we've ever done that. You've been on the show so many times. But not a complete interview.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think that's really cool.
Beaver is taking the ice right now.
Oh, wow. Are you watching it?
It's not coming up for me, but I'm assuming
the
right
celebrity,
now.
What's it called? The Celebrity All-Star Game, NHL.
I hope somebody checks
shootout,
him.
they call it. Yeah.
Celebrity Shootout.
Yeah, that's a game, but they call it that.
Yeah. And I want to remind all our listeners we're live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. This is NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060, KDUS in Phoenix. And we have a special guest coming right up after this break. We've had a lot of great guests today, but this one will make you laugh. There's no doubt about it. This is Breakthrough Sports. We'll be right back. And welcome back again. You are listening to Breakthrough Sports live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant located at 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm Dave Isaac alongside Greg and Ed Smith, Atlanta Falcon, former, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? But nevertheless, the memories go long and deep, and with that ring, it will continue forever.
I hope so.
The Super Bowl ring. Well, joining us now is J.R. Brow.
Yay, thanks for having me.
You're welcome, comedian.
Appreciate it.
Tonight, House of Comedy in High Street and on High Street.
Oh, yeah, really
it's
high.
in and on.
So that's how high we are. That's going to be that good.
It sounds like it's so high it's in Colorado.
It does, but I love this club. If you haven't been there.
It's a great club.
It is fantastic.
So tell us, you're a stand-up comic. I think you do impressions. You have a guitar.
Yeah.
You do a whole bunch of stuff.
Variety show.
And you perform like with Dana Carvey, who's, by the way, one of my favorites. I thought he was underrated. I can't imagine. I don't know why he didn't make it as big as like Adam Sandler. The guy is hysterical.
That's so funny that you bring his name up because I still, one of my proudest moments is being in the green room with him and going, you are the reason I learned how to do Casey Kasem's voice. And he's like, lay it on me. And I was like, oh, really? So he put the pressure on me. And I was like, I said, it's that bit where you're doing the Beatles. I go, Casey Kasem singing the Beatles on Saturday Night Live. He goes, come on, do it. I go, here's a song from 1964 that stars John and Paul singing Helter Skelter. No. Helter Skelter. And he's like, that's pretty good. And it was just one of those moments where I just felt like, the gods have graced me.
Oh, yeah. Ray Romano.
No Super Bowl. That's for sure.
But how about Ray Romano, Bill Hicks, Stephen Wright?
Oh,
you perform with quite a few people. Late Show, Craig Ferguson.
Yeah, that was one of my all-time highlights.
Really? That is really, really a cool deal. So tell us, what's your comedy like? I mean, what can people expect tonight? By the way, it's what, a 7:30 show and a 9:30?
Yeah, 7:30 and 10.
And a 10.
Yeah.
And that's a great place to do comedy, by the way.
It really is. Yeah, the new center out there. And I don't know. What was the question?
Oh, the question was, who won the World Series in 1940?
Oh, my God.
You were on High Street earlier, right?
Yeah.
High Street. No, I'm not.
You brought High Street with you. Okay. But, what can people...
It's a variety show. It's all type. I start out with observational humor, and then I move into characters, which is basically characters of life, i.e. my family members or friends, and it goes into impressions, and then it goes into... and then I auto-tune some of my jokes because you don't need talent anymore. I mean, that's how I look at it. So I've run out of talent, so I put my auto-tune on, and then I auto-tune my jokes, and then I go into the music.
That is so cool. Now, ever hear Gordy Brown?
Yeah.
He does he's a comedian, but it's all through singing.
Yeah.
He's in Vegas, and I thought it was fun. Is it similar to?
I do funny songs, in a sense, but really.
Do you do impressions while singing? Different voices?
Yes.
Okay. So it's similar, maybe. But
I'll take all the music that you've ever heard and show you that it's really all the same. It really is. I mean, there's three chords, a pretty similar structure in every song.
Especially country western songs.
How'd you get started in comedy? Like, were you just funny at an early age and then...
It's a middle child thing. The middle child gets all the hand-me-downs and none of the love.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of a what about me complex you build up as a human. And I got into high school and I got into bands. And as I was playing with bands, I realized I was just the singer. I was the front man. These guys would break a string, or this guy would break a drum head. I'm standing there, and now we got dead air.
Yeah.
So I started making fun of those guys. And that just became a natural thing to all of a sudden, I don't need you. Yeah. I don't need to split $300 with these guys. I'll just take them home myself.
So you do impressions. Who are some of your top impressions that you do?
Well, if you ever fly in or out of Austin, we don't have a Texas accent anymore in the middle of Texas because a lot of people are moving there that are not from the South.
Oh.
But they overdo it in the airport. I think they hired Hank Hill from King of the Hill because I swear every announcement sounds like a King of the Hill episode. You'll literally hear this in the airport. Attention in the concourse. If you have carry-on luggage, please be sure to keep it with you at all times. Otherwise, someone might tamper with it. And I'll tell you what, they probably will too.
Oh, that's funny.
I love that.
That is good.
You remember that show?
I love that. Yeah, I used to love that show when it was on.
Oh, that's funny.
I wait for the guy in baggage to go, hey, I know where you live.
Yeah. Oh, that's sort of creepy, right?
Dale, yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
I have your bag tag.
So, do you? Who else do you do?
I do deeper than that. I do impressions of
impression. So here's my impression of Ray Romano doing an impression of Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, Lordy. It's good to be here. My sister covered in moles. We call her Old Moly. Then she got religious, so we started calling her Holy Moly. Get it done.
Because, he wouldn't say get her done. He's from the Northeast.
Right. That's funny. That is so cool. Dana Carvey also had good impressions.
Oh,
of
he's
people.
fantastic. Yeah.
The George Bush or the Daddy Bush. Can you do the Daddy Bush?
Not gonna do that one with no new taxes. Read my lips.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it just ends up sounding like Dale Gribble.
Yeah, that is too funny. So, do you get hecklers? And if I think most comedians probably have had a heckler or two. And how do you handle that if you do?
Well, the trick is, if somebody's saying something, you first of all you just go, "What was that?" and then you let them say it, and then you repeat it. And what's happening is that's giving you 3 seconds of time to think about the reply.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And by the time you have that, sometimes just repeating it negates the whole heckler anyway. And you realize,
gotcha.
Then they realize how stupid it sounds. Because usually a heckler can only be heard by around 10 people. But if the entire audience hears what that idiot said,
right,
it kind of exposes it. Like, oh, okay, so how you feel now? And so it just kind of shuts them down.
Is there a difference between a heckler and someone that is so drunk they just not sure what they're doing?
Yes.
And
Heckler,
that's harder to handle.
A heckler is forceful and means to be mean.
Yeah.
And a drunk person thinks they're helping the show.
Yeah, there we go.
I was just trying to help the show.
My follow-up question to that, because as an athlete, you're on the field, and you get sometime they will, especially if you're on the road, you get called everything but a child of God. Have you ever had anybody that you literally wanted to meet outside the show in the hallway after?
Oh.
Quite the reverse, actually, because I've got the microphone. They have no power except to pay the bill and to listen to my garbage. And then if I say something that upsets them, they'll wait outside just to tell me what they thought of my show.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Those
wow.
are the ones
So
I
it's the
like.
other way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely it is.
So what's the worst thing that's ever happened in terms of a heckler to you during a show?
This group of girls sat up front in a show, and this is not actually very funny, but it actually happened. If you say worse, I'll go worse.
Yeah, now we're
and
talking.
she had her back to me, and she had her butt on the stage, just sitting on the stage talking to people while the show's going on.
Oh, that's rude.
And usually when you say the phrase, you in show business? Yeah, and somebody's got their feet on the stage, you go, you in show business? I'm like, no. Well, then get your feet off my stage. That's an old joke, right? Well, this girl had her butt on the stage, and so I said, get your ASS off my stage. And then she's like, fine. And then she went to the bathroom, and then 10 minutes later, 15 minutes, she's not coming back. Her friend goes, checks on her. She ODs in the bathroom on heroin. And I'm like, wow, this is like, and it just stopped the show.
Holy cow.
I go, I got nothing. I got nothing.
Wow, really? That's a true story?
Yeah. Here's
She
one with a little
OD'd?
funnier test to it. I was in Arlington. Cowboys just lost. Didn't mean to say it like that, but they're my team. But I'm in Arlington, so this is here. I'm maybe 150 feet from the stadium than a comedy club back then, and they're cramming people in, and the show's sold out because the game is over, and people just need to laugh. And they're in there, and they're sweating, and they're just all knee backs, and this guy's just like, excuse me, he turns around. Next thing you know, it's a fist fight, and I'm doing a show, and I'm just calling it like, oh, he gives him an uppercut. He's coming in straight. I just use the microphone like that. I was like,
really?
Oh, he's down for the count. I'm like, 3, 2. Yeah, because nobody was bouncing. The guys were so big, nobody was big enough to bounce these guys out. I'm like, well, might as well make them laugh while we're here.
That is too funny. I got to tell you that. And that's talent. I mean, you got great skill level to do that.
It's called Don't Hit Me.
Yeah, well, that. Now, is there any part of the country that's tougher to do comedy? Do you see certain subcultures and, any part of the country that
I think
different?
because of my father's military background and having traveled most of my life, I don't find it difficult relating to all types of people. I get to go to the Middle East, or I'll go to Europe or Asia and just do shows anywhere.
And it works out. Yeah. Well, very cool. Wow.
Do you have like a pregame ritual or anything to get yourself hyped and ready to get out there and do everything?
Yeah, usually I call my wife for support, and then she cusses me out, and then I go, why did I call you? And then I go right on stage.
So that works out.
I'm like, why did I knew it. I knew I should have called you. That's my ritual. I keep thinking that she's going to be sweet.
Well, see, at this point, she probably just does it on purpose just to get you ready. She knows what you need.
Yeah, she's that coach with the opposite.
Yeah, there you go.
The Vince Lombardi type, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're no good. You're no good, kid. Yeah.
Wow. She just, well, you travel a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that work out with her? Or?
Yeah.
I'm doing a little therapy right now. What am I
Well,
doing?
I mean, they always say that absence makes the heart grow fonder.
That's right. Does it?
Yeah, and just as long as you know where you live,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to end up at the wrong place.
And she's got all the benefits, so
yeah,
she's hanging around.
Wow, that is cool. So, do you have hopes to or aspirations of being in like a movie or any of that?
I have bit parts and stuff, like there's roles in Austin that I play in, and stuff like that. I was in a Canadian movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It's called Sure Shot Dombrowski, and it's a hockey movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I play this lone wolf from Texas transplant who carries his hockey stick and the gun rack in the back of his truck.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, it's like one of those cult classic movies, like an Ed Wood style. You're like, wow, it's horrible now, but you wait, buddy, you wait. It's going to be good like 50 years from now.
So, do all you comedians sort of bump into each other? We had Ruben Paul on, for example. You know Ruben? Mm-hmm. Colton Moltby, I believe.
Colin Moulton?
Oh, Colin, yeah.
Moulton. Yeah, over the years, it's funny. You do cross paths.
Yeah.
And sometimes you work with guys more than you ever with anybody else.
Yeah.
And I like the variety. Like, not knowing who it's going to be. Then get into the club going, it's you again.
Yeah.
Like this week, it's such a pleasant surprise. Ron Morey is the MC for the show, and he's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
And Andy
of Mayberry.
No, not Andy Griffith.
Oh,
you want to hear impressions? All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'll go back to that. All right. So I used to do all the Andy. This is how old I am. I used to do all the Andy Griffith characters.
You can't be that old. That was in my day.
I'm 5'0".
Who?
I'm 50 years
old. Oh, that's
you
young
are?
compared to him. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. But you look way younger, like in 30s. Oh, good for you. Thumbs
Thank
up
you.
for you.
I appreciate
it. Does, right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Well, I appreciate it. But remember, I used to do all the characters. And I think, you know what? A lot of people don't watch that show.
Of Andy Griffith show?
So I've shortened it. I just do now the main two characters, Andy and Barney.
Yeah.
If they were on drugs. And they're on the porch, and it's called Mayberry LSD. All right? And it's kicked in already.
That's funny.
And Andy says to Barney, like, hey, Barn, you ever just look at your hands? And Barn's like, look at all these lines. That's it.
That's good, though. You sound just like
Don Knotts.
What's up, Andy?
He was fabulous. I saw his daughter, Karen Knotts, at the Sedona Film Festival.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was last year, and she does a show about her father, and it's a pretty cool show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know who else does that is Kelly Carlin does a show about her former her dad, George Carlin.
Yeah. We've seen Jack Lemmon. God, what was Chris Lemmon did a show about Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
A lot of them are doing that. Kelly Ward. I think her name was, what was her first name? Well, Patricia Kelly Ward, Gene Kelly she was married to, and she was married pretty young, and she does a lot of stuff about Gene Kelly. That's above both our times.
Right on.
But he was a cool...
not above yours.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a great dancer, though. So tonight, let's reemphasize this, 7:30 and 10.
Absolutely.
Tonight. You're also there tomorrow, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have another 7:30 show tomorrow evening.
Wow. And then Monday, or not
Monday, I fly back to Austin.
Wow. So do you like, how many times have you been at the House of Comedy?
This is my second time here, and I'm always lucky to come here just before the May heat hits, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's been cold out here, actually.
It's been beautiful. I'm loving this. I was just up in Calgary. It was 48 below.
Oh, geez, really?
Man. Yeah, and you know, Fahrenheit and Celsius give up at 40 below.
That is crazy. Have you been to the rodeo there in Calgary?
No,
I hear it's pretty cool.
What's it called?
Saddle
Stampede.
Dome. Oh, yeah, the Stampede.
Stampede.
I hear it's pretty good, one of the best in the world.
The irony is they have the thing before that. They have the Virgin Fest. And it used to be that Stampede, it would be Stampede and then Virgin Fest. And like, no, you need to put the Virgin Fest first and then Stampede. That would make sense.
Yeah. What? Do I dare ask what the Virgin Fest is?
I'm very interested to find out. So I think
sounds like a buffet to me.
No, I think it's a good follow-up question.
Yeah. What is the Virgin Fest?
I don't even know. I just love the fact that they were telling me that up there. Hey, you've been there to the Virgin Fest, man. I'm like,
wow, how many could they have before they run out? No, that
there's a fresh crop every year.
Right?
Wow. I'll have to look that up. So that's a real thing, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
That sounds great.
Maybe it's like, olive oil or something.
Yeah, I get it. Virgin
or
olive.
they
Virgin
use
olive.
it.
Nice.
No, virgin olive oil. Right? Extra virgin olive oil. It's nothing like that, right?
Yeah,
That's good
untainted.
stuff. Yeah,
Let's
I think
see,
that's
virgin
very cool.
olive oil.
Oh, you're looking it up now.
Oh,
huh?
let's see.
You might not get what you like.
Yeah.
I'm careful to Google anything anymore, man.
Yeah, exactly. You never know
It
what
starts to go, yeah, you're thinking that. No, I was not thinking of that. You were, Google.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Virgin Mobile.
What is that?
It's a festival about Virgin Mobile, the phone carrier.
Oh,
They put on a music fest. Up
well,
there.
how disappointing is that?
It's terrible.
Right?
It's kind of a relief to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's very anticlimactic.
Where Dave was taking it.
yeah, that was good. Wow. So tell us more about you're 50. You look way younger than
Thank
that.
you. Well, I married younger too. My wife is. Speaking of, she's 10 years younger than me, and she
cool.
keeps me young.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And when I first met her, I was like,
where'd you meet her?
in Austin at a bar.
Oh,
And I'm like, man, the first argument, I'm like, the way you're arguing with me is like, you should let this go. I mean, I know, like 10 years ago, I would have been just as passionate about this argument, and you start going, you don't know how to argue. Oh my God, has she learned in
Really?
these past 15 years? Yeah.
So
now she's like a court reporter. You said, and I'm like, oh man.
wow. So should I ask how it's going? Or?
It's great.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. No, I mean, I love the passion. I mean, my first wife, I've been married twice.
Yeah.
My first wife was was Mexican.
Yeah.
In fact, she probably still is. I'm just not not hanging out with her. But I learned Spanish being down there.
Oh, neat.
In South Texas. See?
Oh.
In fact, her father is the one that would teach me. He would communicate to me in Spanish, what English he knew, and sound effects. I remember asking for directions to Walmart from his house. He goes, "Oh, the Walmart is muy fácil. Okay, you want to get in the car, y manejas todo derecho. And when you get to the end of the calle, you're going to..." I go, I don't know how to write that down, but I'm pretty sure I'll remember it.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Hey, you don't have a much of a Southern accent, though.
It's the traveling. Excuse
Yeah.
me. It's the having traveled stuff.
Yeah. You're looking for some water.
Yeah, I am totally.
Oh,
looking for
wow.
some water.
Should we?
Yeah, I'll grab some water.
Yeah, we'll grab some water. They have some at that table. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right? Hey, we're
Grab the
special.
nearest water.
Yeah,
We're
that would
special.
be. So it looks like it says in your free time you collect Japanese guitars and rare vinyl records. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, how that happened is my brother owed me money, and I took his record collection. And I collect rare albums now.
That is cool.
So he started it for you. You
Yeah.
just finished it off.
I'm glad he never gave me the money, actually, in retrospect, because this has gone up.
That is too funny. Are you a good guitarist?
I'm okay. I can hang with guys, pretty well.
Have you been in a band before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple. And
What
really,
type? Is it country western or?
No, it's all types. It's rock, reggae.
Oh wow! What's your favorite music? Type
My
of
favorite music, I guess it would be classic.
Oh wow! Not country western coming from Texas.
No, sir.
Wow.
Even I'll say it in a southern. No, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love country western.
I mean, I like old country, but I'm not much of the, mixing
The
genres
news.
like that. And so, I like,
Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. Yeah, you like country, right?
Old, just like him, old country.
Oh, I
yeah.
love that.
Hank Williams Jr., the old stuff.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I think it's better than the new stuff, actually.
Well, there are some guys that are like Hank the Third. Oh my gosh, he has his.
Who is Hank the Third?
Hank Williams Jr.'s son.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
he
he's
does good?
amazing.
Really?
Yes, and he has such a rebellious heart, like his grandpa,
Oh,
Hank
wow.
Sr.
Oh,
But you hear that voice. You hear the it came back out.
Oh, okay.
The original came back out.
Yeah, wow. The senior, he died sort of young, unfortunately. Like, what, 29 maybe?
Yeah.
I think it was quite young. That's unfortunate. His stuff was pretty good, too. I think I like Junior's music the best, though.
Yeah,
it's pretty good stuff, I think. So is this when you get ready for a show? And I know Ed asked it before, and you said the sort of the way you get ready is you call your wife, and she says,
that was semi joking.
Yeah, but is there anything else you do? I mean, like you're on a show right now.
Yeah.
Does that relax you at all, or does it? How does that affect the show that you're going to do?
Well, what I'll kind of do as a ritual is just sort of turn off the television, not consider what went on in the day.
Yeah.
But just do a little, like, walk around, get some exercise, get some blood flowing, and then get to the show, look at the people that are sitting down, just look at them. Just walking around, kind of, see what I got to work with. Because they're all different. Every crowd is a different date. That's how I consider my
Oh, that's interesting.
And I got to appeal to that girl. That girl is always a different girl. That's
How
an old adage.
Is that? That's cool.
It's an old adage. I tell this to the young comics. They go, every show is a different animal. I go, or you call it a girl, whatever you want. I said, you take her to dinner, take her to the movies, then you try to take her to bed. Because if you take her to bed too early, she doesn't want to finish dinner, and she doesn't want to see the rest of that movie. And I go, the analogy basically is clean, dirty, dirtiest.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Hello, my name is, hey, you like my family? Hey, so you want to go to the bedroom? I mean, that's really the order of jokes.
Clean, dirty, yeah.
Hey, that's very...
if you're following somebody, would you rather face somebody who just killed it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's a good question because I would much rather have some waves happening in the crowd already.
Then somebody
I
just
can
bombed.
jump on that board and keep riding. Yeah, and then besides, I was actually thinking about opening a comedy club with a giant hydraulic lift in it, and you standing there, even on the stage. First joke you tell, you don't get a laugh, you go down a little bit. You get a laugh, you come back up. So it's called digging a hole.
Yeah, I like that.
That is good.
And that's really what it feels like as a comic when you're up there and the guy tanks it before you, and then
you got to get out of his hole.
But I have things to say for that. Like if a guy is tanking it before me, and I come up, I go, "How about another moment of silence?" For and it just eases the tension.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is too funny. Now
it's called an audible. He would know what that is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Audible is.
I think we're almost at the end of the segment. However, one quick last question: when you're done with the show, are you hard on yourself, or do you say, "Hey, that you hit it," or how do you react usually?
I do. If I know I could have gotten a better response, I am hard on myself, and I'll go back and I'll write in my notes, "Don't do this" or "Drop this."
So that's cool.
Listen
then.
to stuff.
Self-evaluation.
You have to. I mean, how else are you going to get better?
Yeah,
always
that makes sense. So tonight, get out there, House of Comedy on High Street and in High Street because it's called High Street now.
Yes.
And House of Comedy, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. Go see J.R. Brow tonight, 7:30, or the 10 o'clock tomorrow, 7:30.
Yeah.
And I guess they could call in or go on the website and
House of
probably
Comedy.
come down, just buy some tickets. I think that's exciting, and that's really cool of you.
You have to let us know when you're close again, too.
Yeah.
We'll come out and catch you.
All right. That sounds good. You guys have been so much fun.
Oh, you are cool. This is good. That's really funny stuff. And what's in the future, real quick? I think we have a few more.
I have a new album coming out.
Oh, you do?
I've been promoting. Yeah, and it's called. I don't know if I can say it. It's called Dick Move, and that's just the name of it. It's like Richard, but Dick Move. And then a children's book on the other side of that called
Different name?
Pig Dog, and it's about my pit bull.
Oh,
and
you
it's trying
have
to
a pit
dispel
bull.
the myths and rumors about pit bulls being bully dogs because they can actually be loyal, sweet dogs too. So
wow,
I want people to learn something from raising a bully dog. You can actually raise that bully dog just to protect you.
Oh, wow, that's sort of cool. You like the pit bull?
Oh yeah, I do.
Really?
I do.
Can we follow you on your website?
jr.brow.com, and I'm also JR from Austex, AUSTEX on Twitter.
Okay. Oh, cool. So So the album, when does that come out?
I keep saying the end of January, but it's the end of January, so I'm thinking of pushing it to the end of February. Yeah.
And they can where
you can go to audible.com is in the website. You can go to rooftopcomedy.com. They're the ones that are sponsoring me.
Gotcha.
And that's where the album's going to come out.
Wow, that is really, really cool.
My website will provide free samples and then the opportunity to buy the entire rest of the album for donations, stuff like that.
Well, that's really fun. Is this your first album you've done?
No, I have another album out called Dumber by the Decade. It's on iTunes.
Oh, that sounds sort of funny.
Yeah, it was fun to make. So.
Yeah, that is really cool. Well, it's been a real pleasure, honor. Let's stay in touch and track your career as it goes around. And next time, bring your wife in and let's confirm some of the stuff. That might be pretty cool.
She'll tell you she wrote it.
Yeah. Oh, does she help you write?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's really cool, right?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got a good one this time.
That is good. Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. J.R. Brow going to be there tonight, 7:30 and 10. Tomorrow, 7:30. House of Comedy. Rick Bronson's House of Comedy in Anaheim on High Street. So it's been, thank you again.
Double high, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah, that would be Oregon and Colorado. Okay, and we are signing off now. We're live from Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant, 3336 West Bell Road in Phoenix, Arizona. They're open. We'll still be here for a little while, so feel free to come down, have some fun, great food, great times, great service here at Valle Luna Mexican Restaurant. And we'll see everyone next week. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next Saturday, 1 to 4, signing off.